Hello, world.
Hey Dallas, how are you?
I'm Alvin,
I'm Charles.
and welcome to Tit for Tat.
This and that.
And today,
Happy Pride.
happy Pride. uh, it's getting dark out there too. Look at that wind. It's like it's getting ready to storm up again.
Isolated thunderstorms.
Yes. Yeah, we've been having some bad weather here. Like I was telling Charles before he got here, my internet just came back on probably about 40 minutes ago, and and so I didn't have internet. I thought we were going to have to cancel this or either come to your house and then do it because we couldn't get it at your house because you had internet access. But mine's been out all night, it looks like, and AT&T just fixed it probably about 30, 40 minutes ago. So we're up and running.
Thank you, AT&T.
yeah, thanks for saving us. Now, they did say that it might be spotty. So if y'all hear like spotty sound or keeps going in and out or sticking or whatever, that may be AT&T. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So hopefully it's not my internet. It's not my stuff. But anyway, so today, how was your weekend? Well, we were together as part of it like yesterday anyway. So
yeah,
I mean, tell what we did.
Yeah, so yesterday, well, because it is Pride Month, all over the world, well, at least for the United States, I guess. But I think if other countries celebrate it too. But this is Pride Month for those that may not know. Hey, John Joe, we celebrate in June. There's always something going out throughout the year, but in June it's the official Pride Month. And so Dallas had their one of our prides because we celebrate a few. You have the general pride, and they kind of go into sections. Like you have Black Pride. I'm not sure about Hispanic Pride, stuff like that, but there's like Pride events for the whole month. There's something going on. And so we went out. This year was a 2-day event. And so yesterday we went to the Fair Park. It's no longer on the Strip, which is the neighborhood in Dallas, like Cedar Springs, Oakland area. They moved it to the Fair Park. It's been there for a few years now. And it's my first time actually going to the gay pride event since it's been at the Fair Park. And it was nice. I liked that it was full of vendors, a variety of them. I don't think if it was still on the in the neighborhood or whatever that you could have fit all those vendors there. So they came out, they did show their support. Thank you, allies, and it's supporting us gays or whatever. We love it, and they were there. One of my friends was there. We stopped at the Walmart table and they gave him a vision test. So they were there to give knowledge. We even stopped at one where they gave us condoms and stuff like that. So it wasn't just, it was informational, and it was also very assisting with whatever need you may have. So we didn't get to see everything or whatever. Concerts was there. CC Peniston, and
she was good.
She was really good. I seen her recently on some talk show, so I knew she still had it. But it was good to see her like live. Drag shows and everything, so it was nice. I enjoyed it.
Yeah, I didn't have internet access today because I was going to go in today and put the video that I recorded.
Mm-hmm.
I was going to put that up there, in our in our page on YouTube. I was going to put that
events.
Yeah, the events, and then just some of the stuff that we had done and recorded,
mm-hmm.
Like them when they were bouncing, dancing, when they were twerking.
Oh yeah, that was really good.
CC Peniston and the fireworks and stuff, like
the variety and diversity was really good. Yeah, I like that.
So today we're going to talk about body image and body dysmorphia. Kind of an interesting topic. I've been seeing it going around on the internet where different people have been talking about it, giving their opinions, and or some of them, some professionals have been given, the actual, diagnosis or whatever you want to call it, different,
mm-hmm.
Their opinions on it and why we do it. So I'm just trying to, get into this topic also. And anybody out there, if y'all come in and join us and give your opinions and comments. on this.
Yeah.
Because it's
Interesting.
so it's interesting because I think, what I was just telling you just a minute ago, it's kind of hard because I think everybody does it to some extent. Maybe, some people do it maybe as a defense mechanism of stuff that has happened to them, or they're cliquish or something, like that. Or sometimes I think sometimes we may do it subconsciously, because we're playing around, joking around with friends or family and stuff, like that. And we might see something or say something, that could be offensive, and harmful, but we don't even think about it that way at the time, especially if nobody shuts us down when they say, oh, that's offensive, or I don't like that, or whatever, then we think it's okay, or whatever. But I think most people in the world actually, do a little body shaming, maybe overtly to the public and maybe covertly to ourselves, because we also have, no one's out there perfect, and we, I think we all have body image stuff.
We all do,
and especially like some of us who go to the gym and stuff, like that. I had to think about what made me start going to the gym, all those years ago, that triggered me or whatever to make me go to the gym and want to, look like this or whatever. It wasn't just oh, that's Larry. It wasn't just because I saw something in a magazine as far as like a person, whatever. So it's something else that drove, and I figured it out. And I'll tell it here in a minute though, but I'll let you get in, on anything you have to say about this issue here. But I'll read this first though. This banner I have up here. But it says, according to some statistics released by the dating app Bumble. Have you heard of Bumble before? You on there too? No? Oh, okay. Almost. What is that?
It's like Grinder, Jack, and all that.
Oh, it is? Yeah. I wonder why they call it Bumble. But are we bumbling around, with these men, bumbling and buzzing around, I guess.
Well, what do bees? Don't bees have something that they want to stick into flowers or whatever?
They have their little, for their end.
Well, that's what they want to stick it.
That's what that means?
And they want to stick it into you.
Okay. But it says, according to some statistics released by the dating app Bumble, almost 9 in 10 people feel that dating is a space where they feel more physically judged than other areas of life. It says, I lost my space here, with 1 in 4 saying that they have been body shamed online on a dating app or social media. So that's
yeah. For me, like you said, for the apps, they do have spaces for you to put, your own comments and tell people about you. That's what it's for. But people will sometimes take it a little bit too far. My thing is, you'll stumble upon some people's profiles, and they may describe, who they are and what they're about, but then they'll put no fats, no, all that kind of stuff or whatever. And I'm like, just don't talk to those people. You don't have to put that there. Or if someone, of a certain size or whatever inboxes you, you can still say hi. I mean, however, and you can decline it, or whatever, but you don't have to just put that out there like no fats, no films. I mean, that's just, it makes you look mean, like, ooh, yeah. I'm sorry, I came on your page or whatever, or you don't know what you could be closing yourself up to. I mean, but if you strictly know what you want, I guess, I don't even want to go far with you. You're not my type, I guess, what they're saying or whatever. But I hate to see that. Like, I don't have anything like that on my profile. I put what I want as opposed to what I don't want. Because I feel like if I put that out, then that's what will gravitate to me. if those other things come or whatever, then I let them know, either I don't respond, which, I know that may be bad. Some people may consider that bad, ghosting or whatever, or I just like keep it on a, friendly conversation. When it start going into, yeah, I would like to do this or I want to do that. I don't, not right now or whatever, and if they push it further, then we can go further, but hopefully they don't, because they probably don't really want to know why. And I don't want to tell them why, because I don't want to be hurtful. Right. I don't want to be hurt. I don't want to hurt them or whatever. And people may do that to me, like, and I don't go into why you didn't choose me or why, whatever, because it doesn't matter, because we haven't got to that point where it matters. Mm-hmm. Now, if it's somebody that I really like and whatever, then I probably would want to know, well, why wasn't I chosen? But this somebody I don't even know. So, but yeah, I hate that. But we do have that on the apps. So Bumble, yeah,
that's correct.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I when I was on the app, what was it? Not Grindr, Jack. Mm-hmm. When I was on Jack, I did see lots of profiles where they were listing a whole lot of stuff that actually falls under body shaming. And it was, I didn't put any of that in my profile. I just had my, my regular 6'1", 181 pounds, that type of stuff, right. Or whatever. I didn't put, how big your dick is, or if you got a fat ass. I never put any of that in there, but I would come across that stuff on the, on the profiles where they listed certain stuff that you were allowed to check the box, like I'm a bear, which meant to me, that meant you were hairy and probably what they would call, big. Mm-hmm. Now, normally, I guess because I could, I have body shamed and stuff, like that. But no, because normally I would say that, whatever, because I have been told, why are you saying calling somebody? Because I think you even told me one time, like, why do you say they were fat? Or somebody told me that, why are you calling somebody fat? Mm-hmm. But I never would say anything like you. I wouldn't deliberately be on the app and call somebody a name or call out something on their body or whatever. Now, sometimes it might be in my head, whatever. But I wouldn't, But I didn't put in there whether, I never put in there whether, I take that back. I did have in there versatile, right? But I didn't put top, bottom. I didn't put dick size. I didn't put, big butt or, I like big thighs or anything like that. But I would come across that type of stuff. But some of them went even further, and then they would just attack. They would list stuff, but then they'll go on to have a whole list of profiles where they would just literally attack. Yeah. And then, but I also find that not only do they do that on the apps, but they actually do it in public. You can be at a party and somebody's criticizing somebody because that whatever. And it doesn't just pertain to gay people or whatever. Right. It's straight, straight people too, whatever, that fat bitch or that fat hoe, or look at her so. And to be honest, I have done it, especially at work, when I didn't like, when I didn't like some people, just like I didn't like, I still don't like the HR, the HR officer. And then I actually don't like the new CNO we got, right? Mm-hmm. And so I've sat around work, sit around there and just read them up and down, like I would call. That's where I got the title from for our thing, Chicken and Dumplins, because I'd sit up there and I'd call the HR officer, the new HR officer we got. I'd sit right there. She'd be right across from me, and I'd be sitting there, like calling her Dumplins, and then I'd be calling the CNO. I'd be calling her Chicken, not because they were like two peas in a pot, and I'd be calling them Chicken and Dumplins, But also this is body shaming and stuff too. I would be talking about the the CNO's hair, you know what I'm saying? Like because she wears the weave, but the weave be nappy, so we call her Nappy. Oh wow! Because her weave be nappy, and it's like you make all this money, right? You know what I'm saying? You're well up into the the almost the 200,000-300,000 mark a year, right? And then you can't get your hair. Right. Come in there, right? Because there's people who make way less than you, and then you coming in there with this nappy with your edges showing and all that other type of stuff, and then you can see the rim and stuff. So I'd sit around making fun of her. I didn't until she became CNO. Once she became CNO,
all the people in power.
Well, no, it's just how she started handling stuff and doing stuff at work, and she destroyed a lot of stuff. And then there's people who quit, just a lot of stuff, and it just got under my skin, and I told her that too. So, but anyway.
Let me say, we do it. We all are probably guilty of it. I mean, it's sad. When you realize that you're doing it, because I don't think a lot of people purposely want to do it unless you're like really upset at the person. I think sometimes we just do it jokingly, like, you fat, you fat bitch, or whatever, you're just joking or whatever. And then other times I think you're doing it because you're upset with them. Oh, I'm about to kick your ugly or whatever, you say something like that or whatever. I think, so for me, the reason why I think as a society we do this is because we have come to a conclusion of what is acceptable and what's not acceptable, or what's right or what's wrong, or what looks good and what doesn't look good. Like you said, the lady's hair or whatever. You may not like it, but somebody else may. So in your eyes, it's ugly. But in somebody else's eyes, which they probably don't even care about that, it's okay. And it's almost like we've made ourselves judges. Like we're casting judgment on what we think is right and what we think is wrong. And if we come across, and we do it with everything, if you see a car, you see a certain car, you're gonna like that car. I might see that same car and say, no, I don't like that. I like this one. Well, who's this? I mean, so we've made ourselves, the high judge, and this, case closed or whatever. And when I was in church, well, I'm still in church, if you take it to the Bible or whatever, it stems from like when Adam and Eve ate the fruit, and then their vision was open, and they ate from the knowledge of good and evil, right? And I'm sure other religions or whatever may have different fables or stories about this. Of course, this is just a fable or whatever. So when they ate that fruit, their eyes were open to what is good and what is evil. And God was like, I didn't want y'all to eat that, because I never wanted y'all to have that power to say what is good and what is evil. And
you shouldn't have put the tree there.
Right. The tree is right. You shouldn't have put the tree there.
If you don't want to be,
right.
Why tempt them if you didn't want them to be tempted?
But that's what we've done. We've got to the point where we say what is good and what is evil. And so when you have that, and you have people that look at certain things like that, well, I like this and I like that or whatever. So I mean, that's what we do. So we're a judgmental society, because we have chosen to say what is good and what is bad or whatever. So I think that's the core of why we do it. I guess we would need to get to a point where let people just be, or let it, not that anything is acceptable, because there should be a way, like you come to work, you just can't dress any kind. Under the just the correct order of things, like there's an order for this, there's an order for that, but still let people have the freedom to decide on, hey, I want to wear this today, and we not give judgment on it. But I know that's kind of hard for us, especially with this pop culture, whatever, like those tabloid shows. Everything is about this passes, this don't. The catwalks or whatever, when they do the fashion shows, this is acceptable, this not. When they rating everybody's outfit or whatever. So it's like, that's how we are now.
I don't know. I kind of think what you're saying too. And then I think it got more prevalent or harsher during this reality TV, with Jerry Springer and what was it, Maury and all of them, with all that, everybody that came on there were calling each other on their show, they were calling them names, belittling them. It was about their hair, their weight, their color, how they looked, or whatever. And then all the fighting that went along with it. But then it seems to me, once the reality TV shows started, it became such a norm for everybody to attack everybody.
Yeah.
And then because that's what they do on those shows, so they can get views.
Yeah.
And then so they can make their coin.
It's a
And stuff. And then that's what they have to, they want them to do that to to bring in the ratings and stuff.
Yeah.
But then I see, because I do remember, back when I was younger, you know what I'm saying? They called it reading and stuff back there, when you pick out something about somebody and then you would, and it was supposed to be in fun or whatever. But if they wanted it to turn vicious, they can. But usually it was a fun thing and everybody was friends and it didn't go no further than that, But now it's right, yeah. And then with like straights, that's what my parents and my grandparents would say. We played the dozens and stuff, and you find something that's wrong with somebody, you zoom in on it, not really to hurt their feelings, but to get a laugh and then whatever, and then people move on. But now they fight over that type of stuff. So like now I see out in the in the gay community, where we circulate mostly, as far as like entertainment and hanging out and stuff, I see I see a lot of reality TV stuff coming out of their mouths, where they're real quick witted, which, to be honest, sometimes I like listening to that because it makes me laugh and it's entertaining to me, or whatever. But also you don't see me participating in it with them. But the weird thing is you don't see me participating in it. But I could be with Larry and Dre, and then something can come out of my mouth. You know what I'm saying?
You adapt to the environment you're in.
Yeah, and then
I don't do stuff like that.
And then, sometimes when I'm around my friend Deborah and them, or my real like when we were playing the game.
Yeah.
You can see how
baby.
Sit right.
Go back.
You can see how we go back and forth. But as you notice, I don't say anything derogatory, but they'll make comments about the way, those are sisters, and they're nieces and sisters over nieces, and they'll make comments about
each other's
weight and stuff. And I'll sit there and laugh, and then I'll feed off of it and say something like whatever they said or whatever. So but I would never call them that myself or do anything and stuff like that, even though they would be okay with it because we've been friends for way over 30 years. So, and they know it wouldn't be no harm, but I would never do that, whatever, just like I wouldn't do it with my family.
Right.
But in my family, they'll call somebody names really quick as far as like weight or hair or the color. And I think some of it that's where I got it from. And I try to pull myself, long time ago, I tried to pull myself away from the hair thing, because we did grow up, and that's a form of body shaming too. People who don't have like what they considered the good hair, like what they considered we had, which my mother told me a long time ago, that ain't the good hair. She said the black people with the strong, roots and the strong hair. So she said, that's the good hair. She said, this hair that we got, in between black and white people's hair, she said that is not good hair. It's not strong. And it thins out. And that's why I cut mine out, because it started, them damn curls started thinning, and I cut that crap. I cut that crap right off. And don't even want it growing or be, because it's all over the place and it looks crazy. But that was part of body shaming too. When we, where my grandmother and then my aunts, some of them, they would talk about people who didn't have the type of hair that we had, or the skin color, which colorism comes into that. They would talk about the skin color and stuff, where they thought somebody was too dark or whatever. Just like my grandmother thought my father was too dark. With my mother married him, she thought he was too dark too. But a lot of that is, so it sometimes we think of it as just our, like if we're thin or fat, you know what I'm saying, or what people consider overweight or obese. But it comes in all forms, shapes, colors, and sizes of how we
your physical appearance,
right? And what we pick out on people, and then sometimes, like I said, it's in our head. We might not say it, but I think sometimes it's in our head. We can see somebody like what they have on or something, and I'll be like, why are they wearing that? That looks nasty, or so and so. But they can be saying the same stuff.
And it goes back to me, like when you said that, it goes back to TV. How remember Joan Rivers?
Oh, I love her too.
She used to call out the people on the thing, like, "What is this?" And and she would be cruel with hers. And I think one time they asked Nene to come on there, and she gonna let you have it. But like you said, in our time now, the reality shows have really spiked it. But even before that, pageant shows.
Right. Yeah.
Pageant shows were like, this is what we say is beautiful. But over no, this is beautiful. And they had to compete. Miss America, Miss US, all that. That's that to me, for you picking one over the other. So you shaming my body, you think this is better than or whatever. So pageants. And we in our culture, like, since we talk about gays, in our culture, we brought that over to our culture because, of course, some of us, especially like the transsexuals or even drag queens or whatever, they're not able to do those kind of pageant shows. So we brought that culture over to our, community, and we start having balls. And in the balls, you walk for that stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Face, butch queen or whatever, and body, all that. Femboy, all that. Different walks. Trade, sex siren. We do all that. So I mean, that can be because they have to compete. So so for you guys who don't know, they probably rent out a place or whatever, like a big ballroom or whatever, and you have somebody that represents a house on this side and someone that represents this other house or whatever, and they walk down and they have the judges in the front that are giving them like scores. You saw this, maybe if any of you watched that, what was the show? Pose? Not what Pose too, but the one that came on the TV, that Legend. You saw a little bit of that on Legend, where they will vote or whatever and say, we like this, we didn't like this, or they cut you. Right. Some of them get cut, and so your whole house is disqualified or whatever. So yeah, we do it.
Yeah. I think that's what you say. I think it's. I mean, it didn't stem from TV and stuff, because before there was ever TV, people probably up at the beginning of history, people have always discriminated against what they like and what they don't like, or what they deem as acceptable, a body, or whatever. And then it depends on the country you live in too, because some countries to be bigger or plus size is more acceptable than it is in certain. I think United States and maybe United Kingdom, maybe United Kingdom or something like that. But United States, I think we probably put more emphasis on what somebody looks like, or their features, or their body, their teeth, or anything. I think we probably do it more than probably any other nation. I'm not for sure, but I think maybe we do that more than any other nation. But in the gay community, we seem to be really. It's prevalent. I mean, it's stingy, almost stingy, because now we've gotten to the point where it's not even just fun anymore. It's turned into real insults and hurting people, and then they're fighting over it. That type of stuff.
Yeah.
So hurtful. And I do believe that with the advent of social media, that has escalated it even further, because now everything is Instagram. Facebook, but a lot with Instagram, we're seeing everybody posting their best pictures, because when you see some of these people in person, they don't look like that. Right. And everybody is now there. What is that stuff that they're using to make themselves look better?
So I was gonna say, so you use your best picture, but still you add a filter on it. So even your best picture doesn't get your approval. Right. That you have to put a filter on it. Right. So you don't even approve of that.
Right. And that's kind of self-deprecating. So why are we not? We're not even satisfied with our own selves. We're making fun, and it kind of comes from, I guess, our insecurities we have in us, or what was done to us, maybe, and sometimes not, but what was done to us as we were growing up, or different situations in life has caused us to do the same stuff that was done to us to other people.
Or what people have told us is acceptable, so I have to live up to it.
Right. So, because when you look at Instagram, there's all these models out there, women and men, but with the men, they're out there with no shirts on, these big muscles, and the only way, and people don't want to believe this or whatever, but the only way to get those type of muscles is to be, you're gonna have to use steroids. You know, take testosterone steroids, either the shots or the extreme pills, not the stuff you buy and this the crap you buy over the counter. That's not gonna do anything. But you really have to get the illegal stuff in order to have those type of bodies. Now you can get a lean type body, you know, or whatever, but you're not gonna get those big, huge, powerful muscles like that, and everything's cut with no body fat stuff unless you're actually taking steroids.
But a lot of them are using Ozempic now. Someone said all the housewives are using Ozempic.
Yeah, and that's for them to lose weight and stuff, you know, like that too. So that falls into the mental category. The mental issue category we're going to talk about a little later in our show. You know, where that falls, that the Ozempic, and there's people who have died from that too. So it's like our image. It's like we're fitting into what social media, TV, you know, like Instagram and stuff say. We see that, and it's not even real. You know, those people. You know, when you see people in real life, we have flaws in our. You know, we have flaws in our face. We have flaws in our body. It's not going. You know, we're not going to all be what they on what they're putting on the thing. And what they're doing now is like with the filters, they're making their even bodies look
slim.
It's like that's not a, you know what I'm saying?
It's not even possible because now you have people trying to get that, and it's like, girl, you don't even have that. You use something to make your body like that. I put up the comment that Jay and Joe said, well, now it goes even deeper. People are using AI, to create images that look like them, but are not really them. Like now you can take the face of somebody and make a whole movie. And you think this really happened. Like I can take your head, my head, and they can make us say stuff that we never said that. Who are these people? This has to be AI. You know, it's so crazy.
And that's just like when I was on Jack. You know, and they would be putting up these pictures that's not even them, that, you know, they were, you know, and then if you actually meet them, or some of them we actually know, you know, like we've seen before, we see them out or something like that. And then when you reflect back on the Jack picture, and it was like, you don't look nothing like that, you know, or that picture was 20 years ago.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But even though that's me body shaming again, you know, here I go.
Right.
That's me body shaming. But people, they're so, it seems like we're not satisfied with ourselves no matter what. Even if you look good or people give you compliments and stuff, we still find reasons to not to be insecure with our bodies or something on our, and which is that's probably normal. Yeah. But it depends on how far you take it.
How far you take it.
Whether it becomes normal or it crosses the line where you over that borderline of where it goes into something different.
Okay, so like, you know, Jay and Joe, they may know exactly what I'm talking about. I don't know. I just texted a friend. There was an app not so long ago that everybody was using. I know some of my friends use it. I texted one of them. They got these AI pictures, and that's what they're using for their like profile picture, whatever. Now, I can see if that's for professional use, because you know you want a nice picture or whatever. You're not trying to deceive anyone. You're just trying to put your best picture up, because I'm eventually going to see you, especially if you work in the public, and you can just tell people, no, this is just a good picture that I wanted or whatever. But like you said, like on the apps or whatever, that can come off deceiving, because I really want to know who you are and how you look and see if this is even going anywhere just from, first appearances or whatever. And you're showing me an AI picture? That's not right. You shouldn't do that or whatever. But yeah, there was an app. I can't remember, but it was,
So then just stay on the apps. Say they had in their profile, because people will make themselves seem so perfect on these apps to the point it's annoying. And then their pictures, that they'll put up. So say, and I'll tell you what I would do, but I already know that when you're on the apps, you won't pick up somebody for a one-night stand. You have to get to know them first. I have done it. So, I have picked up people the first time I talked to them on the thing. Mm-hmm. But I got some friends too who, because we all talk about the same thing about these guys on there perpetrating, and that's not really them. And then when you see them, you be like, oh my God. Now, but just hypothetically, if you were to pick up a guy, and they showed up at your house or you showed up at their house, and then they didn't look like their picture on Jack, would you still go through with the sex, or would you say no? Would you actually confront them and say no? You misled me. This is not this is not so and so, and then you would leave.
I love the fact that you have realized that I don't do that on Jack.
Well, you told me you did.
I know, but it took you a while to get
It
that.
didn't take me a while.
It did.
No, it didn't. I just been messing with you.
Okay, whatever.
But I don't know if I 100% believe you, but I do. I think I 50% believe you, because guys say that all the time. I'm only on there for to look for a relationship, or I'm only on there to find friends. I don't know if I believe that.
I promise you, I'm not gonna have sex with somebody that I just started talking to on the app.
Okay.
But I do have a perfect story for you though,
Yeah.
because I am of a certain age, and before there were apps, I'll give you a story. I can get to answer that. So before there was an app, but apps, there was Megaphone.
What is that?
You don't know Megaphone? Google it.
Okay.
So that was this thing called Megaphone. At least I think that's the name of it. And hey Tim.
You better quit calling out your friends.
They don't know my friend. I'm just saying hey. I just text him.
But Chip does.
Anyway, yeah, because we used to do that together.
Don't call it while I'm here.
I did not speak. But anyway, so we didn't have a way to see people. So Megaphone was something, I think they may still have it. It may not be called Megaphone. But you know how you have those gay, well, I don't know if they're gay. It's in those Dallas things. Sometimes they're like the Dallas pages or something like that. They be in the front of the clubs where you can just pick them up. They're like,
I know what yeah, those little racks, and they'll have that stuff in there. I know
that. They have it from the straight and the gay. So the straight people, you know, they call the girls and they have phone sex and all that shit. Well, we had it too for the gays. So we call that, and you press 1 to go this way, press 2 to go this way. You know, however you were feeling like if you want to go to the more masculine men, or they had it all divided. So anyway, we made our choices. Well, I'm gonna say I made my choices. I made my choices, and I invited the person over because I took what they said. You know, they had to take what I said. But you know, I was cute though, for real. I still am. I mean, might not be cute to everybody, but I'm cute.
You cute to somebody.
I'm cute to somebody
out there for everybody.
So when they came to the house, thank God for peepholes. Amen. Shandor. So when I looked through that peephole, I was like, So I didn't answer the door. They just stayed out there.
Really?
So that was me.
But then you can look through the peephole in apartments. You can look through the peephole and see. The person can see you looking, because when you're outside, I'll tell you what I used to do. But when you're outside and then the peephole, if you're standing there and you're looking,
okay, and
you're looking at, like if you're looking at the peephole and then they're in their house and they're looking to see who's out there, you'll see it shade. That little white hole.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that little white hole.
So them Jehovah's Witnesses, they be seeing.
It's just like that ring I got on my door, but I can see everybody out there.
Yeah.
Whatever. But they don't know if I'm looking at them, but they probably know now that he's probably in there and ain't answering the door because he has this ring. But people, you could. It's that little hole. The light that comes from inside of their apartment, whatever. It goes always. It's always a little bitty hole, and then once they look through that. Then you see that it goes dark. So that's how you know. So he knew that you,
and that's fine.
Yeah, that's fine.
But that's how I did. So that's answer. So I don't do it now on the apps, but before the apps, yeah, I did. So that, yeah. And you're not getting in here.
So a couple of times. See, I won't go to my door because if you notice, you can look right through my door with all that glass and stuff, right? But so. Just to make sure, I would go upstairs. All right, this is crazy. I would go upstairs into the game room, and then I would look out the game room, but I wouldn't open anything. I would be sitting over this way, and then as they pulled up, I could see them getting out the car, and then it'd be like, oh no, hell no,
right?
Oh hell no, whatever. And then they come back and then hit you up in the app, like why you didn't answer the door or something like that. And then I would say, because you misrepresented yourself. That was not you in the pic that you sent me. Now I do have friends who say that they'll do a mercy fuck. I won't do a mercy fuck. A mercy fuck is that when you're on the apps, when you're on the apps and they've sent you a picture, or they've lied about their body, their size of their body, or anything like that. Dick size, or whatever. I don't get into all that part of it, but there's, where people said, I'm this weight, and then they showed up and they've been maybe 300 pounds, and they said they were 150 pounds or 200 pounds.
So they go ahead and do it.
That's the mercy fuck. And they say, well, they just go ahead and do it anyway because they were horny. I would never do a mercy
I
fuck.
would just jack off.
Yeah, I mean, but I have gotten, when I've done it, it sounds like I've done it a lot, but I've done it, but I haven't done it a lot, but I've done it.
Okay.
And then, where, when I first got on Jack, I did it, it was, I just get on there and then they wanted to come over, but there was some where.
A mercy like that?
But yeah, I've never done a mercy fuck because there has been some where they've come and then it's, or I saw, I went to their apartment or whatever, house or whatever. And then when I opened it up and I was like, that is not you. Even though I'm not an ageist, but I have gone there where they said they were this age and they looked like they were 70 or 80, which there's nothing wrong with being 70 or 80 because there's some who look really good. You know what I'm saying? But they didn't, that, whatever. And then I would just, that's when I would tell them if they open the door. And then I'd be like, no, I can't, I'm sorry, but you misrepresented yourself. And then I can feel like it hurt their feelings. Yeah. But then it also hurt my feelings because of their lying to me.
Exactly.
And it's like
you're an imposter.
And then what I used to put in the profile, what I had in my profile was, be honest about what you look like and what you're looking for.
Right.
Because, and then I put in there, because if ever the two shall meet. And that's, so if ever the two shall meet, and then you're not what this, or you're not, you
put the disclaimer in there.
Right. So then I feel like you have a right to, because you even though it may hurt their feelings, whatever. And then, but with these filters and stuff, you see what I'm saying? Yeah. They're so bad. I mean, I'm looking at people who I know, and then I'll be like, you don't even look like that in person. I mean, it looks like you, but that's not you. Your face is not that smooth.
Right.
Your skin or your body is not that this, or whatever. And I'm seeing everybody. It's like most people who are on social, media. I don't even know how to use the filters, but most people on social media now they're using filters and giving themselves luxurious hair or
it's some people going too far. Exactly. Yeah. So if you use Instagram, it's kind of hard not to use a filter. I do use a filter, but the way I use a filter is just to lighten it up. I want you to see me, and sometimes when I take pictures, because I take longer pictures, not as far as the way I look, but the way I use the camera. Sometimes I need a flash and I don't have it, or the lighting is not right or whatever. So I have to use a little filter to make you see me. Like right now, it's kind of dark here. I don't know if you guys can see us really good or whatever. I know you can. I'm just saying, like, I take in consideration those type of things when I put on a filter. So if you look at my pictures, I haven't, changed like anything drastic. I just want to make sure that you can see me. Because some pictures I come out like real dark or whatever, or the lighting, the lighting is not really good. So I use a little filter just to lighten it up or whatever. But yeah, like you say, some people make it to where they're, just flawless. Yeah. And it's like, baby, that is not you.
Right.
Yeah. It's like,
Yeah, I've seen some of my cousins on Facebook, and then I'll see these pictures, and I'll be like, you 70. You know what I'm saying? 30. And then you got a picture of you up when when you was like 25 or 30, or they'll have the here I'm just body shaming all over the place now. Or they'll have like the pictures of where everything is smooth and stuff, and it's like what's going to happen when you actually meet somebody if you're actually out there trying? And then other people see it and they say, why are you up there being? It's almost like you're being a fraud.
Yeah.
But people don't see it like that in society no more. Like you're perpetrating a fraud because Well, the filters are out there. Why not use them?
Yeah, it's the norm
Yeah.
now. It's the norm. I mean, I would like I said, if it's professional, I can see that. Like you want to put your best, like if it's a billboard or if it's your whatever. But if it's something for dating and this person actually needs to see how you actually look or whatever, then yeah, I think that's false advertising, that's misleading, that's not right.
And so if they put all this false information in their profiles, and then and not for sex, but you're meeting them to go on a date, would you still go on the date with them? And even though they don't look anything like what they put in their profile, would you still go on a date once because you've already set up that date?
Oh yeah, I would definitely bring it up and say, "Oh, you look different."
Mm-hmm. So then how does it work if they look better?
And so if they look better, it's just I probably wouldn't even say it. I probably just say, "Oh, you look really nice," because most times. So for me, I know when I've gone out, for some reason, my pictures make me look. And they say this on TV. They say like TV puts pounds on you or whatever.
They do it to me too.
Yeah. So when I go out on what's it? What's the first date? Yeah. What's that called? Is it kind of first date? Okay, yeah. First date. When you first meet somebody, yeah. When you go on that first date or whatever, I was gonna say blind date, but I guess it's not a blind date. But yeah, first date. So when you on a first date, most time I've heard people say to me, "You look thinner." Because for some reason on my picture, I guess they thought I was, really big or whatever. And it's like, you look like, you look nice regardless, but I thought you were a little bit bigger because your face, you look better in person than on your pictures, is basically what they're saying. And I'm like, okay, thank you.
Some people ask me on there, am I catfishing them?
Because they don't believe it.
They don't, and I'm like, no, I don't. I'm like, no, I don't catfish. I don't ghost. I don't do any of that stuff. I'm trying to be as honest and tell you, I don't like this or so and so. But yeah, on the date, you said you would still go on the date if they showed up or you got to the date, and then I think, and you said you would go on the date, but you would still you bring up the subject. You would bring it.
Yeah, I wouldn't just leave. So if we got it, if I'm there and say I got there first. Which I probably didn't, but
he's a black post.
Right. So, okay, say they got there first, and I come in and I see somebody totally different. I think I'm still gonna eat because we're just eating. I need to eat. I'm hungry too.
But did you have any expectations of like it might be it might be somebody you might wanna. You know what I mean?
So I'm definitely gonna tell them, oh, you look different than your pictures or whatever, blah blah blah. We're gonna have our dinner. I probably won't be as open as I would. I probably would hold a lot of information because I'm like, I'm not gonna tell you because it ain't going nowhere. This is it.
Are you going off of just their appearance, or
because that's what you lied on.
But what if they lied and then they come out and they actually look better than even what their picture showed? What if? So, because that's like to me, that's like a.
So that's a plus then. Because I already thought, so your picture already got me here. Then you look better than that. Then hey, win-win.
What if they showed somebody else's picture and then they still look good, but they actually showed somebody else's picture?
Oh, then we're gonna probably have a counseling section because I'm be like, now what? Why did you do that? Be honest with me. Why would you do it? But we have to break that down because I'm like, and I would probably have to reassure. I don't have to, but I'm probably the kind of person I am. I'm probably gonna reassure them like, you don't have to do that. You look good, Nick. You look good, boy. I probably let them know you don't do that no more. You look good. I would give them that. Affirmation to let them know, hey, you don't have to use other people's pictures.
So the person who didn't look like that, who didn't look as good as their picture, though, that they're going to get a chomp. Not necessarily, but likely they're going to get a chomp but both of them did.
Yeah, you're okay. I see what you're saying. You did lie.
False pretenses. They misled us in their profile or whatever they said on the phone or whatever. Because you didn't actually meet them in person. Because you can tell if you meet them in person, but not meeting them in person. They're misleading us on these apps, just like on Instagram. Those those pictures are airbrushed. You know, they're all whatever.
Yes.
Those, you know what I'm saying? Very few of them, or Facebook and stuff. It's just like on Facebook, they'll write stuff like they're this amazing people, and you know these people, and it's like, that's not you.
Right.
You know, but they put, you know, and I know people like to put their best foot forward, but sometimes putting your best foot forward is too much, you know, because you go into the realm of lying, and I guess everybody
don't take it too far.
I guess everybody wants to, you know, want their pictures to look good, you know, or whatever. But some of it is they're overdoing it to me. And then,
but you can tell. For me, I can tell. Can you tell the AI picture?
I can't.
Okay.
I don't, you know, I'm not on Instagram that much, but I, you know, when I see them, I just, every time when I go on there, I just see these muscle body of men in their underwear or these skimpy stuff, and then I'll be thinking at the same time, what are you doing that for? Are you doing that for women? Or are you doing that for all these gay men that are going to be looking at you? Because mostly it's going to be gay men looking at that popping body, you know, or their balls be short, or their butt is popping, you know.
Oh, baby, that's how you can draw them in. So show a little dick print, show a little booty print, whatever. That draw them in.
But the men are looking at that. I mean, women are looking at it too, but gay men, we're all over that type of stuff.
Yeah.
But it's a lot of it is false because it's really not them, you know. Or you can meet them and they can look like that, but then they crazy as hell.
Right.
You know, they got so many issues that you can't even deal with them anyway.
Right.
But that's what I'm trying to get at is, you know.
No, you're right. So yeah, I will be guilty because you're right. Both of them have lied, but the person that looks better gets a little grace than the person that just totally lied and you look a mess. To me, because somebody else might like you, and that's the person you should go out with from now on, because this is it.
So why? You know? Do you know why?
Why
you would think that?
Why I would cut them off?
Why you cut this one off and accept the other one?
I think because this definitely is not what I expected. And this is not what this is definitely not what you represented. You know, you sent somebody totally different. You sent somebody down the street, turn a left, make a right. Yeah, this is not you at all. So that is a no-no because basically you lied. And I don't want to have something with a liar. I need you both up. Well, yeah, I'm gonna get okay. I'm gonna get that too. But this person, I don't know. There's some issues going. You're insecure. Well, I guess both of them are insecure. I think I'm a little bit lighter on this person because you're more appealing to what I like. See, I made this decision of what I think I like and what I don't like. We said from the beginning, we have made ourselves judges, and we've judged what is right and what's wrong. But this person, I guess, is a little better because they sent me their real picture. Yes, they do. They say. So you saying even the person that looks good sent me a bad picture? I know you not bad.
You know, it could, what I said was either way. I said, what if they sent you a picture of somebody else that wasn't them? And then also maybe they sent you a picture. Maybe they probably sent you a picture of them and just say, but when you actually see the picture, they look even better because that was an older picture or whatever. And then also maybe what they have said in their profile is not true.
Okay.
Also, you know what I'm saying? But then would you still choose this person because they look good? Because what society says, you know, what society says, that's what a lot of this stems from.
It is
like
society.
What society judges as what is beautiful, what's a nice body, what's acceptable. And that's what they put all over the IG, Facebook, TV, the magazines, which we are not in magazines that much anymore because we can see it online. But what we're seeing is just constant perfection of like what way these bodies look. These men out there doing their weightlifting or something like that, or even just say the escorts and the masseurs and the porn stars and stuff. When we're looking at these porn videos or something, you know, like that. We see, you know, what is drawing us that because, you know, you go in there and you see this guy with this, you know, which that doesn't do nothing for me, but, you know, 10, 12, 13, whatever and stuff. And we're, you know, or they got this banging body and they're doing this, that, or whatever. And that's really not real. I mean, that's their piece, but, you know, even with the sex and stuff, you know, like that, they're making a movie.
Okay.
You see what I'm saying?
And so, yeah. So you got me on the, you know, this versus that or whatever. All I can say is that, so I'm going to take it here. So The reason why this person may get it is because, they get a pass or whatever, is because I personally am more physically attracted to this than I am that. So say someone, okay, let's do the dick thing. Even though you were false or whatever in whatever situation, and you may have lied about whatever. Even though you lie, I'm still physically attracted to that bit, whatever. So even though, I mean, not me personally, because I want to keep my hole as long as I can, or whatever. But even though I know that you're lying and you're trying to, be accepted in society, and society has said this is whatever, this is even if so society can say that this is in. Mm-hmm. But that don't mean I have to like it. Remember those, I don't know if you remember, y'all, it's just recent. Remember the boots? It was these red boots. I don't know where that came from, but it was these red boots that was going. I think Kanye had bought some or whatever. These red boots, and everybody was like, ooh, these are the boots you need to get. These are the boots, and I'm like, I don't like that. But even though society was saying that that's acceptable, I wasn't gonna go that route because I don't like that. So even though you may have a look, or you may have the big this, big that, or whatever, if it does nothing for me, so say, the big dude came or whatever, I can give the big dude a chance, but I know that does something for me. It might do something for somebody, but it won't. I mean, like, if we're gonna develop into something more than just surface, and we're gonna take this to like the bedroom or whatever, that's not gonna do nothing for me. I'm sorry, and I'm not trying to say that you look bad or whatever. I'm not getting aroused. You know how your nipples get hard? They're not getting hard. This ain't getting hard. I mean, I ain't getting wet, no nothing. So it's not so much society. It's like this doesn't do nothing for me, But yeah, society will say this is. But I mean, I kind of felt things for people that wasn't that perfect size or whatever, because their personality.
Perfect for me.
Yeah, their personality. I like that vibe.
Yeah, I don't like perfect. Ain't nobody perfect
at all.
Because I'm not perfect, but
I'm not even
perfect. But then, I mean, do you think because society has shamed us, we grow up with like, I guess, being shamed for the way we look, or not, or compared to this or compared to that, so that as we get older, it's the rejection maybe that we feel? Is that why you think we would be in our profiles putting stuff that's not true, or putting pictures and stuff because of the rejection we have felt growing up, or where other people have shamed us? So I'm gonna just go put this in here, and then maybe somebody might see it, and then when they do actually see me, they'll overlook it because I'm a good person, or and then I'm this, I'm generous, I'm nice, or I'm so and so. So they'll overlook that, and just like, they'll go ahead. Some people go do the mercy fuck is what they call it, and then some won't. But but
I might do a mercy jack off, but not
mercy. So then, but do you think it's our own internalized fat phobia or body phobia, our own body dysmorphia, or whatever, that causes us to get in these profiles and lie and misrepresent ourselves or whatever? Or do we think that we're never going to run into that person anyway? I'm just playing with you. I'm just doing this anyway because I'm never going to go meet you.
Because I think so, because you take a person like Saucy Santana. Mm-hmm. He's big. And I love you, Saucy. If you're watching, if you ever watch it, share this and subscribe, whatever. But Saucy, he's successful. He all the accolades. He gets all that. But as far as his body, he's a heavy dude. He wears the nails, even though he has the beard, but he wears the makeup, the lipstick, or whatever. Saucy, right? Saucy. Okay, yeah. So I think if people just be you, you don't have to, say that you're somebody else for you to say something like that. you're not comfortable with, because Saucy is very comfortable, because he could hide behind AI and whatever, and all the filters and Photoshop or whatever. But he just comes out like, this is what it is, whatever. So I think it has something to do with, your inner,
Could some of it be too, money can play a big part into why somebody's attracted to you too, because they might not be physically attracted to you, but there's a lot of people out there who, if you got a lot of money, they're attracted to that money, so they don't have no problem laying up with you, or dating you, get marrying you, or doing anything like that because there's money. And not saying that people wouldn't pick up Saucy Santana just because he's bigger, or whatever. But I would say that now that he has that money, it's easier for him than before he had it.
So that's the point too. Well, the point I was coming from is, so somebody like him, he could be one of the ones that will catfish you, but he doesn't. So why can't other people that may be in that same body type, why can't you just be yourself? Why do you feel the need to catfish? Why do you feel the need to slim yourself down? So evidently Saucy is comfortable. What Beyonce say? I'm cozy in my skin. He's cozy in his skin or whatever. But for someone that will catfish me, you're not. And it goes on to what you were saying. It probably is the inner things that makes the people feel like, I'm not acceptable.
That's interesting what Jay and Joe said too, because down here where Parsley says it's not just it's just another way of doing it to make me closer to the real person. So people are being fake, but you can use the internet, and all these filters, and you can use all of that to make you something that you're really not. Because they with that low self-esteem sometimes or whatever. Now you can be whatever you want to be through these apps and through so because some of these people don't know. Most of the people who might be looking at your stuff on Instagram probably don't know you. Only your family and friends, probably coworkers, that type of stuff may know you. But all these other people out in the world, most of them don't know you. So you can actually make yourself be anything you want to be. And
to his point,
that's very interesting. Make me closer to the real person.
No, but to his point, AI has gotten so advanced now that you really do look like yourself. Like you said, the pictures really do look like you. Like you said, it makes you look closer to the real person. However, if you look real deep in there, you don't see. I mean, I can pull up one. I can pull up a lot. I have friends that right now, and I would tell you offline. I'm going to say on here, but I have friends that have those pictures, and it looks like them. Really, it does. And like he said, it makes you look closer to you, but you can tell that's an AI picture. So yeah, they've got so advanced where it makes you look really close to who you are, but it's not you.
So and then Joe and Jay say it's gay baiting. That's interesting. Like the gay baiting, like these guys on there with all their shirts and stuff off showing that, where. But they would say they're straight, whatever. But they're doing it. And they get our money, and they're gay because they know most of these gay men are looking at them going, "Ooh, I wish I was like that." Or some people go out and and they'll go out and harm themselves trying to be like that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Oh, overdoing it in the gym or going to get BBLs or fake muscles and butts and abs and all of this stuff. They can get all that stuff put in now, and they're doing all this stuff. And there's people who are dying from this stuff, just like people who have died from anorexia or bulimia or any of this type of stuff. It's harmful from these images and stuff that we see out there. Right. And then I think with friends, people we know, when they're doing this or we're doing it or whatever, saying slanderous things about people's body or image or whatever, people maybe in front of us, they can be laughing along with us and stuff, but crying also inside or later, because we done hurt them and we didn't even know it. I mean, we didn't pay attention that, we wasn't conscious of what we were saying or doing.
Right.
So we're talking about it, like where does this body shaming, disparaging marks come from? Why do we shame others, and ourselves? And is it a lack of self-esteem within ourselves of why we do that and why others do that, or like low self-esteem, or is do we do it to be accepted with our other gay friends, you know, and stuff? Because if they're doing it, do we want to get in the pot and do the same thing because other people are laughing and stuff, and it makes us more cliquish? So I'm not that way. I don't give a shit, you know. I don't fit in with you, you know, whatever. But there's people who are followers where they'll do this they'll do it even though that might not be who they really are, but they'll do it when they get around a certain group of people. Yeah, when they get around a certain group of people, you know what I mean? And then and then they're doing it and shaming people or doing it or whatever, then the other, you know, that person will join in and stuff, you know, like that. And so are we doing it as so we can be accepted into the clique, into the group, or we can be with the fun gays, or, you know, get on TV with the Real Housewives or something, you know, act a certain way and dress a certain way, even though that might not be who we even that might not be who we really are in our personalities and who we really are. But then you get around somebody just so we can have our 15 minutes of fame on the Real Housewives and stuff, you know, like that. Because I see some of them, and then, you know, when I was in Atlanta, I saw some of them guys down there. I went to a party, and then they don't even act like nothing they do when you see them on that Housewives show. That's not, you know, they're all put on, and then when you see them at the party, they're just regular, you know what I mean?
Right.
So
a lot of stuff I think is for acceptance. It's like, you know, I want to fit in, I want to be accepted, I want those doors to open, and the way it's set up now, that's the way those doors are going to be open. So I have to go get the veneers. I have to go get, you know, the BBLs. I have to do the tummy tucks. I have to dress in certain labels. You know, I have to be seen in certain places, you know, on my social media or whatever. Because I want to fit in. I want to get in those places that I feel like are close to me if I just come presenting my regular self or whatever. And yeah, we bring this because everybody wants to be that number one, you know, that number one person or whatever. So whatever I have to do. And my thing is, I'm not about to go broke. Like, you know, we're going on a trip now. I'm not spending a whole lot of money just to be, you know, be laying on the beach. Yeah. You know, I mean, you know, whatever. People, I don't know what's in there. Right. People I don't even know. I mean, you know, I'm not about to impress you. I'm gonna look good just for me because that's, you know, you may not like what I consider look good. It may not be up to your standards or whatever, but I know for me. I always dress like this, so I'm gonna go in there. I just look like trash. But the person that invited us already knows that, you know. So you know, you already know us, so you know whatever. So, and I think I don't know if it has. Have you been that way your whole life, or is it because of your age? No, I've always been like that. I've never dressed. You know, I've always wanted to be. I always like to dress casual. I don't like stuff that's on me that's tight or conforming where I can't move around and stuff. These are not tight. You can go right up in there with see that stuff. You know, but you know, I just like I like athletic wear. You know, and stuff. You know, like that. But I've never dressed where I had to go put on something because unless I had a function at work or something and I had to wear a suit or something or dress up for something. Other than that, I'm always casual, you know. Yeah. And I've never went and dressed like everybody else at the club and stuff. I've never said, well, I'm going to go buy this and put this on because that's how they look. I never did all the colorful stuff that the gays wear and all the, you know, the nails and all, you know, and all the different type of clothes and stuff. Right. You know, if I go out, if I go out and my friends know, I'm just going to put on shorts. If it's summertime, I'll put on shorts, t-shirt, gym shoes, and a hat. Yeah. If it's wintertime, I'll just put on regular jeans or something and a sweater, hoodie or something. I'm never dressing up to impress anybody. You know, and if you like me, you know, whatever, then and that's how they meet me anyway. It's like this, but then sometimes they get intimidated after a while. If you start dating them, it's like, well, why are you wearing that? Why are you doing this? Or why are you putting that on? But this is how you met me. But then you want to change me to be like this or whatever. Yeah. But I do it for comfort, you know. Yeah. Now, originally, when I first started, working out, you know, it was
to impress,
Right.
to impress people, like impress men. Because I knew back then, it was all about, the way your body looked and stuff. And then the men would be like, oh, he's fine, or he's this, or he's cute, or he's handsome, or so and
It's
so.
still like
And
that.
so, yeah, it's still like that. But that's originally, from 18 on, when I first saw my friend who came down to my job from school, my best friend from school, and then he was average built, just like I was skinny, but he was average built, but nice built. And then all of a sudden he come down to my job before I left for college, and I'm looking at Curtis and I'm like, damn, muscles and, just banging everywhere. And then all of a sudden it was like, and then I saw people look, we went to go lunch and stuff, and I saw like the men looking at him and the women looking at him and stuff, like that. And my ass was like, well, ain't nobody looking at me like that, whatever. And that's where it first popped into my head to start lifting weights. And then, but once I got into it, me and my friend Brian, we used to go work out all the time, whatever. And we were doing it to be cute.
Right.
We thought, to draw attention to ourselves and stuff. But then as I got older, that all went out the door, and I don't work out now to have these big muscles. I actually went and dropped some of it because I didn't want to be that big anymore, So, and I didn't want my titties hanging down and stuff. I still wanted them to be firm and looking whatever and stuff,
Right.
like that. But originally I did do it for the wrong reasons. But then as I got older, it's to stay healthy. You know what I mean? And everybody at the gym is not healthy either. You know what I'm saying? Just because you got muscles or whatever, or you look this way or whatever, doesn't mean that you're healthy.
Right.
But I did it to maintain my health as I start going into older age, and to and try to look as best as I can as far as like features and stuff, like that. But as far as like clothes or whatever, I don't have to look a certain way to impress the people at the club or something. If you're gonna look at me or like me, or I'm gonna look at you and like you, I'm gonna like you for what I see there, not for what what you think I have or how I should be dressing,
Right.
Or whatever to impress people or whatever.
Right.
And then so anyway, idealization, a personal standard of perfection against which one's actual thinking, behavior, and appearance are compared. An exaggerated and unrealistic view of one's virtues and ability. And that basically sums it up. We see all this stuff out there on the internet, TV, and all this other type of stuff. And then we're putting them up on pedestals and idealizing. We don't know what's going on in their lives, or if they actually really look like that or whatever. But we're idealizing these looks, bodies. We idealize like people going out there all getting these teeth and stuff now,
Right.
And stuff. And then some of them, they're coming, like I go body shaming again, but some of them are too big for their mouth.
Oh yeah, like
whatever. Some of them look okay, but then some of them be like, or whatever. And then I see these big old eyelashes that be this long and the fingernails and all this other type of stuff. People can do what they want to do and stuff, but in my mind, I'm body shaming them. I might not say nothing out to them, or whatever, and I shouldn't say anything out to them. You do what you're gonna do.
Sure.
But in my mind, I'd be like, ugh, or why, how do you eat like that, or what are all these big spider lashes and stuff?
Yeah.
And then I have this thing now where I see straight women, and then I start comparing them to drag queens because they have all the the thick makeup on and the eyelash, and then I like looking at the drag queens, but I don't like looking at straight women like that. And it's a double standard, I know, but when I see the drag queens with all that big hair and all that makeup and them big eyelashes and shit drawn, it's animated to me, and then I like it because they're putting on shows and doing stuff. But then when I see the straight women with all that on,
why are you doing
it doesn't, and I don't say anything to them, but in my mind, I'm body shaming them, and I shouldn't be, but I am body shaming them, like, why do you got, where's the the natural look? And then that goes back to what is natural.
Right. It's
what is the natural look? Is there such thing as the natural look? Because from the dawn of time, men and women have been putting on makeup and all type of clothing and garb and all this other type of stuff. So what is natural?
I think in our day and time, natural to us is without nothing. Like when you first wake up in the morning, or like people that don't put nothing in their hair, like a lot of black women are going back. I guess dudes too, because dudes have the locks and stuff. Dudes are going back to the, just letting their hair grow. and they may do like the dreads or the locks or whatever kind of other hairstyles they can do, braids or whatever. Just letting people know, hey, I'm not doing all this chemical stuff. I'm not doing all this extra stuff. I'm just gonna, whatever. And we've taken it even to natural deodorant, natural. I mean, I just want to be natural. I just want to use the stuff of the earth. I don't want to add any extra, whatever. Like our food. Some people, when you go to restaurants or even when you cook, you put all that extra stuff in there. What if you just took it and just ate it natural? What if you just ate natural beans, natural corn, or whatever, and not put all this other stuff in it? So I guess in our day and time, that's what we would consider natural. But my thing is, if you want to perm, if you want to curl, if you want to put makeup and or ordain yourself, or put decorations, the earrings, or whatever, do that. I mean, it's you. Whatever you like.
Yeah, because I look at people and I'm like, oh, she's beautiful, or he's fine, even though they be having it on. But then there's other times I'll be looking at people like, you look like a drag queen, whatever. But then that goes back to, is everybody beautiful, or are all features beautiful? I know it's all in the eye of the beholder, because there's somebody out there for somebody. But everybody's not going to like everything about everybody. But does that go back to that phrase? Everybody is beautiful, or do we discriminate? Do we say no, you're not beautiful?
I would think
ugly, or
I would think everyone is beautiful. However, it's the person that is judging is the one that determines what beautiful is to them or whatever. But I think everyone is beautiful in their own right and what you have. I mean,
I think everybody can get beautiful.
Okay, Layden, would you like to come and
I surely will.
Okay, come on down. And we
is
will
he coming to get in on?
Yeah, we would like your opinion.
Oh, here
But-
comes my son. He wants to say something. I don't know what he ain't. Whatever Charles.
We were having a conversation, but before as he comes, I just want to say that this is what you were born with. You know what I mean? And I think what you were born with is, the palette. You know what I mean? And you can choose to decorate. Like, I mean, I might not. People will discriminate over eye color. I remember one time we were walking on the strip. I'm going all over the place, but we were walking on the strip one time. I had a friend, just out of nowhere. I think we was drunk and tipsy or whatever. And he just started announcing, cut or uncut. Cut. I mean, it was wild. I mean, we was in one of those wacky modes or whatever. But that's body shaming. That you want people to tell you if they're cut or uncut before anything goes further or whatever. So it's like, this is the palette and you work with whatever. But some things I can't change.
Right.
This is what I was born. This is what I was born with. So if this doesn't appeal to you, then I'm not the one for you. But if it is, then whatever. Because some people are like that. Like, I don't want no uncut. I don't want no uncut dick.
Right.
Or I don't want to cut. You have your.
Is that preference, or is that just
But it's body shaming.
But
though.
that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
It is. It's preference, but it's also body shaming.
A lot of it.
Because what if they sent you the right picture and everything they said in their profile, even though you didn't specify whether you like cut or uncut, or whatever. But you don't specify that. But then you go meet them. Just say you go meet them, and all of a sudden they're uncut. And you don't. So then, but I don't know if that would be body shaming unless you put it in your profile, say no uncut. Even though that's the preference, but you say no uncut dicks or whatever. I don't like uncut dicks or something. So you know what I'm saying? So, but that's where
it's only body shaming if you don't accept them because of that.
Right.
Like, I don't. Oh, this is bad. Oh, everything about you, but that. You're like, yeah.
So we be limited. We like everything about their profile, or just say we met them out in public or at the club somewhere, and we like everything about. Oh, they're nice. They got these characteristics. They look good. They got a nice body. So and so. And all of a sudden, we never discussed whether you have whether you're cut or uncut. All of a sudden, you pull down your pants and you're uncut. So do you just dispose of a totally good person, you know, that
Well,
you
you
could have
know
had a nice relationship with only because they're uncut?
Some probably will. Well, I'll probably say a small percentage will, but most of them will probably. Oh, they're gonna body shame you because that's not their thing. But we're gonna go. We're gonna live with it. Like, I mean, you know, I may have wanted to be with a tall, light-skinned person or whatever, but I ended up with, you know, a short, dark-skinned person. I'm not going to disqualify you, but some people are gonna always make you aware that you know you're not the one I really wanted. You know, so in other words, you're like body shaming me because I didn't fit that tall, light-skinned person. I'm still gonna stick with you, but I want you to always know you want that perfect person. But like you said, who's perfect though?
Mm-hmm. So that's where when you brought up light skin, so that's also colorism and body shaming, because you know people have you know, I don't want to date that person because they're too dark or they got big lips, you know, or you know what I'm saying?
I'm gonna give you an example too. You like my eyes?
Yeah.
You like the color of my nice eyes?
Yeah.
Yeah. So there was a point. There was a point in my life when I was in high school when those color contacts came out. Guess what color I got?
Don't say blue.
No, chestnut brown. Because I thought chestnut brown was like, ooh, that was gonna be whatever. So you have a people that will. I don't necessarily think I was body shamed. Some people may get body shamed for their eye color. I don't think I was body shamed, but to be more acceptable in my mind, I thought, oh yeah, let me change the way my eyes look. It didn't even need it. Like I said, my eyes are nice. Like, you want to say something before you go?
I can go on run, right? It's not gonna hurt you.
No, it shouldn't hurt you. It shouldn't hurt that long. If it starts pulling, you need to stop running and come back home.
Pulling?
Yeah, because you can be running. That can be strenuous when you're running. So if that starts pulling on that wisdom tooth where they took it out, if that starts pulling on that, you know, that blood clot can come out and you can bleed. So you just got to be careful doing any type of strenuous exercise for the next few days.
I wanted to say, I just don't think, you know, anybody, or not anybody, I don't think everybody could be beautiful. This is the same way that everybody can be good, and the same way everybody can be bad. Everybody can't be white, everybody can't be black. You can't always be what you want. You can't always be what somebody else wants you to be. And
so you're saying we have ugly people in the world?
So are some people, is everybody beautiful? Here's the question was, is everybody beautiful?
No.
Or is everybody, or you can say, is there, so no, everybody's not beautiful.
no,
It's not in the eye of the beholder.
I think beauty is really just a construct. I think beauty is really just whatever somebody wants it to be. But at the same time, take a look at the definition. Beauty is what's beauty?
It's skin deep. They say beauty is skin deep. And then and different people find different people. It can be different countries. You know, different standards of beauty are in different countries also. So sometimes over in the United States, what we deem as beautiful, in another country they might not see that, or we might see other people in other countries. It's just like some people, you know, how they, you know, back then where they thought blacks, you know, Africans and stuff, they thought we were ugly, and you know, because white was the standard of beauty, which in the United States and parts of the world, people still do see white people as the standard of beauty, and everything else falls up under that. You know, and then it's just like sometimes how some of these men will fetishize white women, you know, with black men. Sometimes they'll fetishize, or black men who fetishize other white men. You know, they'll fetishize them as exotic and stuff. You know, because remember, lady, you know, grandmother, my mother, how she used to talk about how people are, you know, they always say how they thought she was exotic or European because she was so light with the long, pretty hair, what they consider pretty hair. You know, whatever, and then people thought she was exotic, or they thought she was a white woman, or they thought she was European, and she's actually black. But people, they fetishize that type of stuff. You know, like, oh, well, that's the standard of beauty, and then they would look at somebody who was darker, and they would say, you know, that's not beautiful. Just like they wouldn't hire models. You know, they started hiring darker models, like with Naomi Campbell, but used to be models that they had to be light skinned and or have this type of body shape and stuff. And now, you know, things are changing where the models they can be curvy now, and they don't have to be these string beans and
I was gonna say that too.
or vacant looking stuff in their face.
Because it, like, you know, over here, like America, we want that slim. Well, it used to be. Yeah, I think it's changed a little bit. But America, we want that slim body, that figure eight or whatever. But if you speak to an African dude, he's gonna say we like big bodies or whatever. So in Africa, they like those big bodies. I mean, we kind of like them too, but
We do now.
Not the
We didn't
norm.
used to.
Right, that's
Years
right.
long time
That was
ago.
not-
Now the bigger bodies are in now, but along when I was coming up, if you know, they used to make fun of black women and stuff because they had the butts got big or their stomachs, you know, or whatever, or you know, they had the big tits. Because big white women, the flat, you know, white women, which white women are now trying to get black people's booties and stuff because they're going to get BBL,
They're getting the
not just the
curves.
white women, but the Hispanic. A lot of people are getting these
They get
curves
the
that the
curves.
black people have now, but before that was not the standard of beauty. The standard of beauty was to have this thin waist and this flat. It was almost flat, wide, bottom that white women have, and then the long, you know, like the white straight hair, you know, or whatever. That was the standard of beauty.
And one of the reasons for that, too, is because the designers will make their clothes for those thin people.
Right.
We're not about to stretch the material like that. You walk down that runway, you're gonna see skinny girls or whatever.
And see, that's another reason too, is that it could be you know, it could be why, you know, I mean, I don't want to say why women or even people straighten their hair with perms and stuff, you know, like that. Sometimes it can be to here, let me fix this. Sometimes it can be to there we go. Sometimes it can be to because we get tired of dealing, you know, you get tired of dealing with the trying to get the comb through it, you know, and stuff, you know, like that. But some of it could be self-shame because that standard of beauty was white women with this long flowing hair, and then we, you know, our own people, they wanted that straight hair to look like that or whatever. So that's why they would straighten their hair, you know, or now even with the wigs and stuff that's being made, they're all white women wigs, really, you know, all that long, because that's not our, you know, that's not black folks' hair. So, you know, not most, unless you're born that way because of some mixture or you're just the hair just came out that way. But most black people have what, you know, like the tight curly hair that can be, you can do a lot of stuff with it, but with the wigs, you know, and the weaves and all that stuff now, except for the ones who are getting the extensions or the Afrocentric type hair, some of them are it's that straight white woman look.
That's acceptable.
Right. And so we still try
And you know,
we
that's
still
why
put ourselves up against them for beauty.
And they just came out with a Crown Act, which allows black women to come in with their dreads and their natural hair and not get discriminated against or whatever. But I like the fact that you brought up the definition of beauty. So let me see if this changes your thought of beauty. So they say
that's the ice machine.
Oh.
On the ice machine.
I was like, are we playing and doing
The
this?
police are coming to get you.
Right. So beauty said a combination of qualities such as shape, color, or form that pleases the aesthetic senses, especially the sight. So that's what they're saying beauty is. So you still think that everyone's not beautiful because they said what pleases.
No, because think about it. If you're going off what pleases, then what about what displeases? If I look at somebody and I feel displeased, if I look at somebody and I feel displeased, you can't call that beauty in my eyes.
In your eyes.
Exactly.
Okay.
And that returns to what my father said. Beauty is basically in the eyes of the beholder.
Exactly.
But at the same time, it's like, why focus on beauty? Why is beauty such a strong thing to look for? Because if you think about it, you can find somebody that be like just the most beautiful, the most handsome, gorgeous person you've ever seen. But that
evil.
Exactly. Just because you look good doesn't necessarily mean you are good. There is a such thing as a pretty poison. You know, you can look at somebody and be like, oh man, I love this person. I love the way they look. I love the idea of this person. But then once they open their mouth and we share the conversation, once I go out with them and we interact with each other, once I see how you treat my parents, I don't like you. You know, I don't like you. don't like how you make me feel when I'm watching how you conduct yourself.
I like that.
Yeah.
So I feel like beauty can be more than just like what you see from somebody, because what do you like hear from this person? What do you know about this person? Just because you're beautiful doesn't mean anything to me. Just because like you can find somebody that could be like looks wise, bottom of the barrel, but treat you like you're the best person in the world.
And even though I can be a little superficial at times, because the first thing I see is looks or body.
Yeah.
But I go beyond that because it's more how once I start, like if I go out on a date with you, then and I start talking to you, it's more of how you
make me feel.
Yeah, and what's coming out of your mouth and your character, and stuff, like that. And I start seeing that type of stuff, and then I quit looking past what you look like or whatever. But initially, when I first see anything, whatever, my eyes is looking at, oh, he's good looking, or that's a nice body or whatever. But that's not what's gonna attract me and keep me. And I hope that's not what attracts you and keeps you with me. It's like my character, and then what we can both bring to each other.
And just to bring it back, to bring it around to what we're talking about, so that's a good point of your definition of beauty and whatever. So with your definition of beauty and everything, would you be like what you don't like? Would you body shame that person? Which means like whatever I don't like in this person, whatever I dislike in this person, would you make them feel bad about that? Like, what's your views from a younger person? Like,
Okay,
how do you view? What are your views on that?
So I can only use this with like an example. So let's say that you were a girl that I wanted to talk to, right? And let's say that we did, like get along, right? If I feel like, no, I forgot the question.
Like, okay, so you gave your definition of beauty, like it depends on what I like. I may dislike it or whatever. So say you find something in someone that you dislike, would you make them feel bad on that, whatever the issue is?
Not yet. So say we was getting along and then like you were to ask me if there are things about you that I didn't like, I would say yes or no, but I wouldn't necessarily dive into the topic. I feel like diving into the topic is then when you're stepping into the bounds of disrespecting somebody, because there's a way to tell somebody that you just don't like them, and there's another way to nitpick somebody and tell them, oh, I don't like this, and this about you. I think if I were to like you, you have to fix up this, and this. That's more of stepping into the realm of like, okay, well, I didn't ask that. I just asked if you like me or not.
Yeah.
So I kind of feel like that's it, but it just depends, because like you'll have certain people that you'll try to talk to, and then like they'll try to gaslight you on it, to where it's like you need to tell me what it is you don't exactly like. But then if I share it with you, you're like, oh, well, you didn't have a problem doing this, and this with me when I was this, and this. And it's like, well, hey, that wasn't the question then. You weren't asking me if I was, you know what I'm saying? I'm not like, just because you don't like somebody in a certain area or a certain aspect doesn't necessarily mean you have to tell them that.
Right.
Because you don't want to hurt people's feelings and stuff, like that.
Yeah.
And on top of that, like let's say the most common thing that I ever hear about is weight. You know what I'm saying? So you could meet somebody that has the best personality, they look great in the face, but you just don't like the body weight. And that could be fine to you, but you shouldn't necessarily share that, only because that could be something that they know that they're facing and dealing with. That could be a problem that they feel like that they're constantly working towards getting better. So
That's right.
I feel like it really just depends on who you're talking to.
And see, and he says the most common stuff he hears is about weight. And then in the gay community, we hear about weight, but it's weight. But even now, weight is not such a big issue, because people aren't, what I'm saying? But in our community, it's still dick size, butt size, or top bottom type stuff. We hear that the most.
See, the only time I'll ever hear about like big size is if you're talking to a girl that just wants sex. Like most of the females that I meet that are around my age, it depends on where you meet them. Like if you were to meet somebody at a club or something, my age, they're most likely just looking for sex. So if you were to get in the same bedroom with them, pull down your pants, and you don't have what they consider to be above average, they'll tell you straight up like you can't put that in me. And
Girls are saying that.
yes,
Oh, wow.
I know a certain female who has actually been in a situation where she got into the bedroom with the dude and was just like, nah, I don't want that. And he was just like, why? And she was just like, cause you said you was above average. What you got is 7 inches. And then he'll be like, but that's above the average. She'll be like, no, that's average to me.
So you know what we used to say, if they said something back then, it'd be like, well, no, you just got a big hole. You just too big, you just too deep. You know?
Right.
Or so you say
too
something,
open, yeah.
You can move in that and put a couch up there.
Right.
That's what we used to say back in school or something. You don't like that.
It ain't even like that now. That's been
Loose.
Yeah. You'll
They say
hear
that about guys and their booties.
Yeah.
The power bombs.
Yeah. But we said about pussy too. Like you too loose.
Yeah.
I can't even feel your walls.
So then that we're talking. So as far as like dating, and it says, how does body image influence our choices when dating or choosing our friends? So we basically done touched on that. You know what I'm saying? Like
I will
we
say
do
that
choose people who. Oh, go ahead, Lee.
I will say that it depends on. I feel like when I'm making friends, it's very objective. Like what I want you as my friend for, and I feel like yes, that may sound a bit selfish. That may sound a bit I don't know. There's another word for it, but I forgot it. But that may sound a bit selfish. But I feel like in life, you shouldn't be just friends with somebody just because y'all grew up together. You shouldn't be friends with somebody just because y'all like the same food or something. I feel like you should only be friends with somebody if you feel like y'all both have a beneficial meaning to the friendship. If you feel like y'all both have something to gain, not necessarily that you're taking something away, but y'all both have something to gain. Like I wouldn't go make friends with somebody who's plus size just because I want to get better in the gym, using them as motivation. I feel like that'd be taking something away from them because you're not looking at them as a friend. You're looking at them as somebody who's below yourself, keeping them as a standard so you can stay above them.
Mm-hmm.
But if you're like looking at, like if I was to not know my father and I'm like, well, yeah, we should be friends. It more be because when we go to the gym, he can spot me. When we go to the gym, he could teach me how to do exercises that could benefit me in different areas. It'd be things that I could actually learn from. It'd be a friendship that would actually help me prosper.
And
so
not because
like,
I was fat.
Right.
You know, I hate to use the word fat, but because
you're bigger.
Because you can't say, bigger or plus size or whatever. And in my conditioning, it still comes, sorry, everybody, because it still does come out like fat. I got to work on that. But so you wouldn't choose your friends just because they all look good or they all, they fit into the standard of what, like a clique, and all your friends that are guys or girls, they all look good and everybody's looking at them and want them and stuff. And so you're not picking them as your friends just because everybody else is looking at them, and got idealizing them. And
because they do have those.
Right. You're picking your friends because y'all have stuff in common. And then y'all, and not because of the way they look, their size, or their color or race or anything like that.
We're working so it's like we're working towards a common goal, a common interest. Like I do have friends that do like illegal activities to make money. I don't get close to them just because I know if you were to, you put yourself in an environment that could necessarily harm. So it's like you got to think. Like I feel like a huge part of growing up is really just thinking about where you are in life and not where other people are, but where like you are exactly in life. Because just because something works for somebody else doesn't mean it's gonna work for you. And that could go for the smallest things. Like somebody, like for instance, somebody could be like, oh yeah, I ate so much seafood during my diet, I lost weight. My pops hate seafood. So I
don't like seafood. But I'll cook it for people. But
it's like, I just feel like just because,
So your friendships are purposeful, but it's not to the fact that you're not going to be my friend because, you're overweight or because you're dark skinned or because you dress a certain way. Because when we go out, you can see them. They're coming to the club and this whole group is light skinned. Like all of them are light skinned. This is the light skinned group. Or this group come in and all they wearing is labels.
Right.
Or this group comes in and all of them are wearing like feminine type clothes. And this group comes in and all they're wearing is like masculine like rapper and we Jay-Z, you know.
So I definitely
And
think
that's the act too. Some of that over masculine image stuff, and you dress in this way, or the having the muscles and stuff. That's image body, you know, a body image issue also.
Yeah.
Because you're putting on and you're pretending and acting that way, but that's not really you. But you're doing it because, you know, whatever reason.
Oh, I do want to touch on the color subject. Me personally, I feel like the colorism thing, it really just all depends on who you could see yourself being with. Like, for an example, my first like real relationship was with a brown skinned to dark skinned female, and I kind
The
of
girl on the street,
yeah,
she wasn't dark skinned.
brown skin, dark
Yeah,
skin.
she was brown skinned.
But like I feel like she was a little dark skinned just because there's patches where it'd be dark, you know. So it's like it kind of just depends on what you could see yourself being.
But it didn't bother you.
Yes, it did.
It didn't bother you because you were about going acting crazy all over her.
That doesn't mean it didn't bother me.
Oh, okay.
Just be like I said before, just because you have one thing that might be on your mind that you don't like doesn't mean that you'll turn down the whole person.
Right.
Well, that's true. That's true.
And I don't necessarily have a problem with brown skin or dark skinned women. It just it was just that the way I was looking at the skin, it was just weird to me how I would see patches here and patches there. I have a couple patches, but that doesn't mean, you know, that I'm expecting somebody to say, oh, I don't like you because you got patches. I didn't say that to her. I didn't feel that exact way about her just because she had a couple patches here that were darker than the rest.
Right.
That it wasn't
She might have alopecia or something. I don't know.
Yeah. You looked at the total person.
Right. You took it for the total person, not just because. And you didn't date somebody just because they were light skinned or dark skinned, or just because your friends say you should be dating white women or light skinned, you know, or whatever stuff. I think I had said something one time about when y'all were at the pool.
Yeah, you told me not. You told me not to date
white girls.
Yeah, you told me don't go after no white women. You was like, lady, did I just see you talking to white girls? Don't you go talking to white women?
Well,
We'll do a show about it.
no, it was those ones at the pool. Was the one I was talking about. Remember when you and Mario was at the pool?
Which one? Which time?
The one up at Hurricane Harbor.
Oh.
And remember, and they were just trashy. And that's what I said. I didn't have a problem.
trashy one.
Yeah, well, because they were just trashy, and they were intentionally coming after the black boys. I saw them there, you know, and they were coming after them. And Mario and Leighton and them, they just was ooh, and it was like I was like, be careful,
Right.
Because
They just want to get pregnant and
or I was just be careful of, you know, where we're at, because even though I ain't afraid, he know I ain't afraid of nobody, but you know.
they'll take their
All these white people up here, if something happens, they're gonna come after y'all and me, you know, or whatever. Like as if you went after those girls, and you know, because they were young, they were teenagers then. He's 21 now, but they were teenagers then. And then I saw their parents and all this, you know, and these girls were just being fast and everything, and they were throwing themselves on Leighton and Mario and them and stuff. And I was like, be careful, you know. Because it's going to be a little different with these little white girls than it's going to be with these little black girls, you know, because, you know, if something happens, and we don't see it play out all over TV and the news from the dawn of TV, you know, and stuff, you know, like that you're the one they're going to come after and say you came after them, or you tried to attack them or do something. And that's not the case, but they can say that type of stuff. And that's what I was talking about. Not that you can date whoever he wants. If he wants to date a white girl, marry a white woman, or do whatever, that's up to him. Now, anything. I don't have a problem with any of that type of stuff. But when he was a teenager, it was like, be careful out here, because I saw them throwing themselves up against them and then running them all over Hurricane Harbor, where I couldn't even see where they were at sometimes. And you know, in my mind, the racism stuff came in, like, you know, they don't harm my son, because if they say something, next thing you know, they're gonna be,
you would use them with them.
Right. And so that's what that was about.
I kind of feel like though, who I'm dating with the color thing now, I feel like it's so much you have to take into account when it comes to America as a total. Like, do I want to date do I want to date this person? Because like I'm of age now to where I'm gonna go through my life. There's gonna be a time where I want kids. There's gonna be a time, you know, where I want to find a place that I feel is suitable to raise my children. Right?
Yeah.
Where would I want to raise my children? And when you think
Well,
about,
don't leave them on the porch.
well, that's not what I mean. But what I really mean is like what environment do I want to bring my children up in?
Right.
Because when you think about the America that's being formed today, you have little kids that are like 5-6-year-old girls that are going around the house twerking, listening to Sexy Red. I don't know if you listen to Sexy Red,
Yeah.
but
No.
you know, it's like it's so many things where this stuff shouldn't be allowed to be shared with children.
Right.
You have some children that don't want to act like children. And especially like because I know y'all didn't have this when y'all were in school, but when I was in like a junior, senior year, right when I was about to get out of school, because we still had the middle school connected to ours.
Mhm.
And you could go downstairs for lunch and you could see literal sixth graders that are touching up on other sixth grade girls. I knew a boy that was in the sixth grade who actually got brought to the dean of discipline. He got brought to the dean of discipline because he got caught having sex in the bathroom.
Wow.
So it's like you have people now that are doing these at such a young age, and it's only because of the things that
It was
we
going on
allow.
when we was coming up.
It was.
Oh, really?
It's bad. It's worse now. But it happened every now and then back then. But now it's worse. It's worse. But and that's where a lot of the body image and stuff comes from too. You know, growing up, what shame and being shamed or whatever, or some of it is where they got positive body image, like in school, and they'll say, "Ooh, look at her tits, look at her ass, look how big, look at her body's banging. Ooh, I want to get," and then that would fill those girls' heads up too, thinking so and so, but really they were being disparaged. They were being what's the word when you like that, they being fetishized or something like too,
Yeah.
but they were really just being
They were showing what they saw.
right.
Yeah, because we have a lot of young parents now, and you're raising you have a 18-year-old raising like a child themselves, and so they're just emulating what they see or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But what I would say to you is for like if you do have children and stuff like that, or when you have children, and you like, well, should I raise them? America, the world is gonna be the world. What I would say in that house, in your household, always affirm your son and your daughter, because that's what they're gonna remember. They're gonna see all kind of stuff out there or whatever, but always show them that show them that first of all, dad loves you, mom loves you. That's gonna go a long way, because when they know that, they won't really be looking. I mean, they're gonna make their own decisions.
Yeah, because they still do.
They're gonna make their own decisions, but to me,
They still do it.
That does not matter, not one bit.
Yeah.
I'm saying you should still do it though.
Yeah, you should.
Do that, because that will speak volumes, and that they'll look back on it and say, you know what? I was trying to look for that out there when I had it right here in my household.
I remember being when I was taking you to your basketball games and stuff, and stuff, and some of the stuff that those girls and guys, when I'd be sitting right next to him on the bench when he'd be out there playing basketball, some of the stuff they be doing, that's the word I was trying to come up with, objectification. Flirting, because there's a difference between flirting and then objectifying somebody. And then so like some of these girls, even boys, but some of them growing up at an early age, they've been objectified, by boys their own age, or even adults and stuff, talking about, oh, look at that body, or look at how they're so and so. And in school, they, I was sitting there watching some of them where, the guy was sitting there just talking about the girl's tits and stuff, like that, but then the girl takes, you know which one it was, lady, because I told you, showed you, but she took a hot dog, took it out the bun,
Oh my God.
like that, and she started and her mother was sitting right there on the side of her. She started putting the hot dog down her mouth, doing like this.
And her mama didn't say
Her mama didn't say anything and stuff like that, but Mario's mother did.
So that's what I'm saying. So does Mario's mother have a daughter?
She's got, yeah,
She has one now.
Was her daughter doing that?
No, her daughter was real little.
Well,
She was like maybe 1 or 2.
but what I'm saying, I bet that girl that did it, I bet her mom was not giving her that. You know what I mean? Even though, like I said, like y'all are right. People are gonna make their own decisions, but I think it goes a long way when you have a household that says you're beautiful, you're this. You don't have to get accepted. I accept you. But of course, yeah, people are gonna, but they're gonna always look back and say, damn, I was getting that at home. I didn't have to get that out here. You know what I mean?
That's why I also feel like this might sound crazy, but I feel like to a degree, like bullying, body shaming is needed. I feel like to a degree.
Oh wow!
I just feel like to a degree, it's needed to know what others' opinions are of you.
Let me get you
Only because people should know, like, you're not alone in this world. If you want to go outside and kill somebody and be like, it's right to kill somebody else is going to say you're wrong. So if you want to go out plus size and be like, I'm happy, it's okay to be plus size, somebody's going to say you're wrong. Yeah. Everybody's going to have their own opinions. Not everybody's going to agree with what you want to be.
But you don't have to say it to them.
And you don't have to shame
you don't have
them.
To get it. You don't get with a crowd.
I feel like that's what high school.
Do you get with a crowd and then your friends and y'all start body shaming people?
No.
Or did y'all talk, like to their face, or y'all might be doing it to yourself, doing it in your little group, but you didn't get up in their face.
Nah.
And
I just feel like
that's all you protect people who were being bullied in school.
Yeah, I just feel like if you have friends that actually tell you what your problems are, actually tell you face to face what you need, what would be better for you. That's what people need. Like if I had like me, I felt like I was overweight at a certain point, right?
If I ain't never been overweight.
But that's how I felt, right?
And that's what we're talking about too, the self-esteem we feel of like why we feel that way.
If I had somebody,
I ain't never been overweight, but sometimes I'd be like, oh my stomach. No.
If I had somebody I was friends with that was like, oh well, you're fat. You're like Jaden. Jaden calls me fat. Jaden says, oh, you're overweight. You're a big guy, right? And he's always said that to me, and it's like,
but he's just playing. But it's not. It's still body shaming. But
people can say that's body shaming if you want to. But at the same time, it's like, well, what is the truth?
Was it the truth?
To me, it was. Because look at me. I was over the weight limit. My stomach was hanging out. I had a muffin top. To me, I was overweight.
What's the muffin top?
When your belly hangs over your pants, like your belt.
Like me.
So your belly was hanging over your pants?
Like my belt line. When your belly goes over your belt line.
Oh, okay.
But like that's just what, like, I feel like my belly.
That's just what society says.
No, that's how I felt.
No, you that's the way you feel. But society makes us think that.
No, I didn't have the idea. That was the thing. I didn't have the idea from society that I was fat just because my belly was over my belt. The only reason why I felt that is because I can look at my teacher, see his belly hanging over his belt, and I can see how he can't do anything physically correct in that classroom and know that that's not correct. I can go to the gym. I can go to the basketball court, see how people have see how people have a thin body or a more muscular type of body. I can see how they can do all these things with their body and know that is more like how a human being is supposed to be able to move. Mm-hmm. And for somebody to say, oh, well, yeah, I'm like 5'6", 3 something, and I feel like I'm so healthy, I'm so happy, it's so great to be alive. You shouldn't feel like that. Only because that's not healthy for you. That's not good for you. Mm-hmm. At the rate you're going, you could be putting on so much weight to where you could have a heart attack. So I feel like there's certain instances where people do need to know, like, hey, this is not okay.
Oh yeah.
But
you don't shame them though.
But you're not shaming them.
Yeah.
You're just trying to give them honest criticism, which sometimes that could be shaming.
I feel like coming at somebody.
If it's coming from a friend, I think you take it. You take it better.
No, I feel like if you can receive wisdom from a total stranger, and that could be the best advice you ever heard in your life, only because that person told you that real statement at that time that nobody else was willing to tell you. You have people that are your friends that will lie to your face to keep you happy. Mm-hmm. So with that being said, sometimes you might need somebody that doesn't know you from a can of paint that come up to you and tell you like, yo, this is not good, and you're over here preaching this like it's Jesus or something, mm-hmm. and what you're doing is gonna help you meet Jesus today. This is not good for you. And especially if like there's a difference between coming up to somebody and being like, you're fat. Yeah. And then there's a difference to going up to somebody and being like, what you're doing is really unhealthy.
Right.
So you get better.
Right.
These are things that these are steps you could take to help better your situation. It's one thing to go and that's why I feel like it's shaming somebody when you're going to somebody and putting them down. I feel like that's shaming somebody. But if you're going to somebody and you're trying to show them the steps to get themselves out that situation, then that's not really body shaming.
Right.
I feel like there's a huge difference there.
There is a difference. Yeah.
Okay, so I'm gonna share this screen here.
I'm gonna go for it, Ryan.
All right.
All right. Thank you,
Be
lady.
careful, because you just had that wisdom tooth taken out.
Okay.
So be careful you don't put like a big strain on it.
And now the whole world knows. But be careful. Thank you for your feedback. Yes.
Layton's like me. He don't care what people think or say.
Right. Oh, I know.
He just do not care.
Bro.
We are back with GMA Out Loud, our month-long Pride series looking at issues affecting the LGBTQ plus community. Today we examine body shaming and body dysmorphia. Gay men make up 42% of men with eating disorders. Gio Benitez is back to tell us more about it. Hey, Gio.
Hey, George. Yeah, this issue is only made worse by comparisons on social media. Now this morning here, though, a slew of young gay men are tackling this issue one TikTok at a time.
People talk about my weight because of how skinny I am.
They are the TikTokers taking on body shame.
Muscle dysmorphia is a major issue.
A growing number of gay men are publicly pushing back against what they call bullying within the gay community over how they look.
I've had someone actually say, if you lost a little bit more weight, I think we could go on a date.
A study showed gay men had lower body esteem scores, higher rates of eating disorders, and greater concerns for physical attractiveness compared to straight men. Nico Cassidy grew up as an overweight kid in upstate New York, but once he got to college, body expectations led him to extreme dieting.
You're so gay, you're fat. It's definitely deep-rooted with shame from childhood and just to be who we are. And I think that shame kind of comes out and portrayed as like a little bit more of a superficial vibe.
Sam Coffey posts his body with pride, calls himself full-figured and body positive.
And there is an unwritten and kind of unspoken Adonis complex that happens, especially within American gay culture.
Experts point to social media and dating apps affecting all of us, gay and straight. One study showed digital comparisons led to users feeling worse about themselves.
The pursuit of the ideal body or the pursuit of perfection can certainly be damaging, can lead to depression, anxiety, self-esteem issues.
Nico and Sam say they hope speaking out will help change perspective.
The one thing that I've learned is to just confront things as they happen, because if you actively are working on yourself, you will always have hardships to overcome, but you'll always be the best you can be.
My relationship with my body, I feel it's a growing relationship. I'm getting used to me.
And experts say some of the most helpful tips are to reduce your time on social media and redirect your focus to something else. But of course, George, that's easier said than done.
Sure is. Let's talk to our expert, Dr. Jen Ashton. You don't hear a lot of talk.
Oops. Sorry, let me go back. There was just a little bit more to that.
Every time I needed a new phone.
Oh, well, I don't know if I'll get back to that. I messed it up. I jacked it up. But anyway, that was our thing on that. I gotta get better at this. So what do you think about that? You know, like I know we've been talking about it here for a minute. So, but it seems like it's very prevalent. You know, that was from 2021.
Oh, wow.
And then and now in 2024, it just seems like it's getting worse and worse as far as like the you know, and you know, we all do it, but
yeah, I mean, like I said, it's visual. We're visual people, especially men. We're very visual. I mean, by with eyes though, but it's like the first thing you see, and if it's something that you deem to be unattractive, or you know, it's not your preference or whatever, you know, you have a problem with it, and it shouldn't be that way, but that's the way society
Size of ears. I was thinking about this guy. I guess he's kind of like, these media people like Miss Netta, and Charles, But I was thinking about Shamar. You know Shamar? Okay. So Shamar is the guy, his body kind of,
You want to talk about the phone? Get me a phone. Is that the one?
Yeah, and remember, I know you watched Ted Master. He's the one that had the menu. He was making dinners, plates or whatever. I don't know if she ever showed his video, but his body is kind of like, he is up, and people kind of make fun of him because of that or whatever, because his body is like really whatever. I don't know the medical term for it, but his body's just like shaped crazy or whatever. But, people look at that and tease him on that. But then I think it's what he does too, because he gets on, he kind of makes a fool of himself to a degree or whatever. I don't know if that's just the way he is or if he's just being funny or whatever. But I think if he can't say he was built like that, but then had good information to spread, I don't think people would like really make fun of him, because they'll be like, okay, this is a person that this is a person that may not have the body, whatever, but the information he's giving is some information that, we can digest, we can take and make our tomorrow better, whatever. But he is a little messy and talks about whatever. So I think that like,
you think that's a self-defense mechanism? So like how some people we see doing all of this, over the top stuff or whatever. It's a defense mechanism from how they were treated or they were made fun of about their bodies or their looks or mannerisms, or whatever. So they use it as a defense
mechanism. Get you before
and
you
now
get me.
now they became what they didn't like people doing to them. And now they've become that. And even though he's making money off of it and stuff, but really it's low self-esteem and low self-worth and stuff, like that. It's more like, so he's taken the internalized body shaming that has happened to him or that he's done with himself, and then he's projecting it out into the public and stuff.
Exactly.
So it says body dysmorphia, a condition in which you can't stop thinking about one or more perceived defects or flaws in your appearance. A flaw that appears minor or can't be seen by others, but you may feel so embarrassed, I'm trying to read this, embarrassed, ashamed, and anxious that you may avoid many social situations. You ever been in that type of situation because you didn't want to go anywhere or something because you didn't have the right, you didn't look right, or you thought your body wasn't the way it's, whatever, or maybe you didn't think or you didn't go to that pretty event because all the pretty people were there, and then or you might thought that you didn't measure up or something, or there's some flaw in your body that you just kept, that you just, that you do yourself in almost,
right.
That you just constantly be thinking about it, like, I hate this about me, I hate this, and then it keeps you from doing things or progressing further or something in your life because you're so focused on that, what you consider a flaw, which nobody else may not consider.
Right. And that's the thing. Mostly it's us or whatever. Like those thoughts come. I don't know if you may not come to everybody, but I know we all, like we said, none of us are perfect. So there's something about us that, we may feel a little whatever. But I don't think I can't think of a time that I stopped that from whatever. I know what I look good in. So I'm going to wear what makes me look good in or whatever. Or, for me or whatever. I'm not really trying to hide anything, but I just know what looks good on me or whatever. So if it's somewhere I want to go, I'm going to go. But yeah, those thoughts do come. You see your body. When you're in the mirror, I'm looking at it and I see some parts of me that I don't really like or whatever. At the time, if it's somewhere I just really want to go, I don't really care what the people think. I want to go here, but I'm going to show up as the, my best or what I think is my best or whatever. So yeah, but I do know of times where, you're getting ready and you feel like, hey, shoot, I got some issues.
Yeah. I still have that body thing from, because I was real thin growing up, right?
Mhm.
And I always, that was my issue, is being thin. And then when I got in the gym and started lifting weights and stuff, even though I'm still, thin, but even now, I don't see myself. People would tell me, I get it a lot, when they, like, oh, you're so handsome, or you're so, you're good looking, or you have a really nice body and stuff. But really, the only people who gets to see my body actually would know, or whatever, is only if I'm gonna have sex with you. And then they've always, oh, you got a really nice body, oh, I love you laying on your chest, oh, you're not, stuff, like that. They tell me stuff, like that. And they always, guys who I've been with, or even in my relationship, like, why don't you show your body? Because I'll go swimming and I'll keep on my shirt.
Right.
You remember we were down in Austin, in Houston, and remember it took me a long time to take that shirt off in that jacuzzi.
Oh, I'm not taking mine.
And because I'm still self-conscious about that, because when I look, I still see thin. I don't even see that I don't even have a lot of muscle. I'm toned and I have a little bit of muscle, but I still have that feeling of being thin when I was a teenager, being thin.
We're our worst critic.
Yeah, we are our worst critic. So I see that even with the stuff where people say you're good looking and stuff, and you've been with me and people will say that or do that stuff, but I don't see that, and that's not because, that comes from the colorism stuff that I felt growing up with my grandmother and them, where they would compare me to my father, because, I'd heard her say, that he was dark and he was ugly. And then one day when I was little, which, it doesn't affect me now or whatever, but it does affect me in the way as far as how I feel about my body.
Right.
But it doesn't affect me where I heard her say that, when they were talking about, they were talking about my brothers and sisters about, how pretty they were, and they're going to be lady killers or men killers when they grow up, they're this so-and-so. And she didn't say that about me. She said, oh, he looks like, he looks just like Donnie. She said he looks just like his daddy. What I correlated with that was that, I'd heard her say before that my father was ugly, and I heard her say he was dark, he was black is what she said. He was, he was black and ugly. So I correlated myself with that. So now, even when people say that I'm good looking and stuff, like that, even though I know I'm not ugly, I don't see that, and I know people think that I do, but I don't see that. I just see an average person, with an average body, even though I do have some muscle and stuff, like that. Like my friend Larry and stuff, he'll compliment me all the time, and then be telling me what his friends and stuff are saying, but I don't even see that, and even as good looking as Larry and Dre and them stuff are too, they're not even on themselves like that. They're not just out there, I look like that, all the big muscles and stuff that Larry has, and stuff, like that, and he can still be insecure sometimes, and as good looking as he is too, he can still be insecure with these guys, just how they have dealt with him over the years, or what we've seen in public or know to be true out there as far as like body image and what people deems acceptable and not acceptable and stuff, like that. And so, what did they say? Tammy Roman says she has the body dysmorphia. I think that was my first time hearing about it, but she says she always sees herself as bigger, even when she is not, or something close to that, she said. And that's true. And that's and that's the truth. People, even when they lose weight, say they were big and they lose weight, they still always see themselves as big when they look at like this. And actually when she lost weight, I thought she looked worse, than she did.
But it's it's something behind it. She has a sickness,
Right. But then, but the same thing, and hers was like mine. I've always was thin, so even though I put on weight, like muscle, I still thought I was skinny, and I can still look in the mirror and say, oh my God, I need to lose weight. I mean, not lose weight, I need to gain weight. And then if I gain weight, then it changes my features and stuff a little bit too. But I can still look in the mirror. I just did it yesterday. I was standing there like, oh my God, I lost 2 pounds, or whatever. And so, oh my God, I need to lose weight. I need to go in there and eat something or whatever. And it's crazy how we think that. But people out there, they don't see that. Sometimes, we'll be out and they just think, oh, he's cute or he's good looking or something like that. They don't realize, or he has a nice body or something. But But what I see is something totally
For some
different.
people, it's the swag. Like it's your swag. It's like I mean, I know that you're you can't miss what the size of somebody is, but even though for a heavier dude, like you got the swag or whatever. Some people just see the swag or they just see the the charisma or whatever that you have, and they're like it. I mean, I don't whatever your insecurities are, I don't see them at this moment. I just see somebody that physically and visually to me looks attractive, and and sometimes it is hard for us because we know what we look like or whatever, but even though you know what you look like, that may not be what other people are seeing or pinpointing on or whatever at the time or whatever. So
And then so what about body, what about body and pretty privilege? Do you believe in like people who are, it says body pretty privilege operates on the principle that people who are more conventionally attractive based on societal beauty and or like body standards have more advantages and opportunities compared to people who are deemed less attractive.
Yeah, I mean, it can happen
Have you
because
ever read anything like that? Like people who are maybe people might say they're not cute, or something, or they're fat, excuse me, y'all, they're overweight. I gotta learn some things. I gotta learn how to work on myself. So, but people, or whatever, or, but somebody who, like when we're looking at Instagram and stuff, do we imagine, oh my God, they just got this, or they have this, and they must be having this, and all the men are after them, which is not true. It's not true. Just because you're pretty, sometimes it can be harder on people who are overly good looking or have the almost perfect body or something. Sometimes it can be harder on them to meet and date and stuff because people perceive them as they already have somebody, or people are always after them, so they're scared to approach them and stuff.
So I'm sure it probably happens. It hasn't happened, I don't think, personally to me or anyone around me, but I know it happens because I've seen like the documentaries, like the girls that grew up like with CeCe Peniston. What was the girl that she sung like? It was like the Milli Vanilli time or whatever. She sung background and she sung the majority of the song, but because she was overweight, they put a skinnier girl on the video or whatever. We see that a lot of times. We've seen it with like even with the Supremes. Diana Ross, she was a skinny girl, so she was out front or whatever. Even Matthew Knowles said about Beyonce. Beyonce got through doors that the other girls couldn't get in because she was light skinned or whatever. So I think there is a privilege, like we said, it's in the eye of the beholder. Whatever that beholder thinks is beauty, that could open doors for you. So I'm sure it happens all the time. We were just talking to someone the other day at the club where he was saying there's some privilege even in our community. I guess I kind of I can't pinpoint it right now, but I can see how it would happen. Like, because you are of a certain shape or whatever, we're going to allow you to come in. I've heard even straight people say this with the club, especially when it comes to women. Like, they let the women come in, they let them get in or whatever, because that's going to make, the guys come in or whatever, because you got all these pretty girls and they know the girls are going to spend money. So sometimes, that's why they say ladies are free before whatever, because they know all these Negroes are going to come in because all these ladies are here. So, they play with it. So there's some privilege there or whatever. Then I'm sure the finer you are, the better, but some of these, they don't care if you find out as long as you got a hole, whatever. But so I think there's some privilege there.
Yeah, because see here it says attractiveness, often perceived through the lens of societal standards, can wield significant influence on various aspects of an individual's life. While physical attractiveness is by definition superficial, which it is, skin deep too, just how we think. Research has found that it offers distinct advantages in personal, social, and professional realms. People have been hired and not hired by how their boss or whoever was doing the hiring or whatever has perceived how good looking they are or what their body looked like. There's people who have not been hired because they were overweight, you know, or whatever. Sometimes they didn't know it, you know, and then there's sometimes people who have not been hired because they were dark skinned and a lighter skinned person would get the job even though they weren't as qualified, you know, and stuff, you know, like that. Or a white person has been hired over a black person who could have been more qualified. Sometimes they both could be equally qualified, you know, whatever. But then they got to choose, and they might choose on that appearance, you know, or whatever. Or like they have done it on braids and hair or something, you know, like that. Or they perceive, you know, because you're black, they perceive you as aggressive, you know, or you're, you know, that big black man scared, even though that can be the nicest person in the world. But they didn't hire them or give them this or that or whatever, or they didn't get that job, or actors and stuff, you know, like that too, because of their color of their skin, you know, their body, and when people are looking at their body and stuff.
We see it on the commercials, especially when we were growing up. The commercials, it was always either the white people or someone that was appealing to the eye. I think we're getting better now. Now you're seeing, you know, gay people. I mean, you know, it may not be so much their looks, but at least they're including, you know, the gay, they're including mixed couples and stuff like that. So commercials are changing. Sometimes it may not be the most attractive person, especially these commercials that do the medicine stuff. You know, they don't care. They just want people in there to just say, oh yeah, I use Viagra, or I use this, or I use that, or whatever. They don't really care how you look, but it's giving opportunity to different body shapes and body types or whatever. I even saw one with the I guess it was maybe PrEP or whatever. They actually had a trans person, you know, or a person that was, you know, transitioning or whatever. Because you could tell, I'm like, that's a whole man. But you know, but you know, they had them in the commercial because it pertains to them. You know, they don't care. They don't care
because they get, as long as they get some money off it, but they don't tell you. Then they'll run the disclaimer. There's so little, and then this could possibly kill you. You know, so
give you diarrhea.
You know, all kinds of stuff. But that's gonna be in the little print or whatever. They're not really worried about body image or something. You know, I guess I don't know how they're picking their criteria.
I think they're realizing but I think they're realizing that the more real you are, the more relatable you are, and I think that's why reality TV has took this spike or whatever.
Yeah, but reality TV, they're not even real. They're putting on themselves. A lot of them don't even have that money that they have. A lot of them done a whole bunch of stuff. They got body image and they don't went in and contoured them, took out ribs, and I mean, look at Nene. I mean, she's a totally different face now, you know. And a lot of they don't got these bodies. They don't went and got BBLs. They don't went and deflated their income and did all stuff. And some of them now they so broke and poor because they tried to do that. You know, that they tried to portray that fake image to the you know, whatever, and then it does, some of it done ruin their lives and stuff, you know. Like
and it's funny because regardless of what they do, someone's gonna body shame them. Now, no matter what Nene and people like that do to their body, someone's gonna have something to say. So, and I think that's what keeps them going to do the work or whatever. It's what they see too, because something in them sees something in the mirror that's unacceptable. But then it's also with this social media, people can say whatever they want to say. I mean, if I was a star, I would probably kill myself the way these comments are. I mean, you know, I'm not killing myself. Don't take that lip, but I mean, just the way these people are so cruel to them. It's like, oh my God. I mean, they murder you with their words.
But you know what? They put themselves out there to do for them to do it, so they want the money, you know. So you know, and then some of the stuff they do, and they're not innocent either because they're doing a lot of body shaming, and even though they have internalized body shaming, they're also doing that to the. I've heard of plenty of them, you know, that fat whore, that fat bitch, or that ugly, you know, whatever. And a lot of them called each other ugly and all the other type of stuff, and you know, so I don't know. But so what about in the gay community, queer community? This is for men. I don't think it really pertains to lesbians, you know, or whatever, because I don't think with the lesbians, it doesn't matter their shape, how big they are, how small they are, or how butch masculine they are, or whatever. They just like each other, you know. But with the I don't think it's on the scale that it is with men, you know, as far as being masculine and feminine. So with masculine men, do you think that they're less body shamed in the gay community as far, in the queer community as versus feminine men? Like, are the feminine men more shamed?
It's whatever you're looking at, because you can be masculine all day. I can still find something that I might not like because it's in the beholder, and you can be feminine, feminine man, and I find something or whatever. So I guess it depends on exactly what you're looking at or whatever. But yeah, I think because when we think of men, we have a type of what a man should be,
Right.
and I think if you don't fit that, then yeah, you're gonna get more, negative comments or whatever.
Yeah, that's what I say. I said, so in the queer community, masculine men are almost given a pass, where gay, other gay men tend to idolize what they consider masculine gym bodies, other masculine men, the down low men, whatever, they're considered more masculine. The feminine guys do get picked on. They're the ones who actually, the femmes are the ones who actually did a lot of, came to the defense and did a lot of activism and stuff around, people accepting all types in the gay community or whatever, just like with the drag queens with Stonewall and all, and all that different type of stuff. But the feminine men have always been ostracized more, talked about more, chosen less, as far as like, whatever. It was like that when I was younger, and it's still like, I see that now, stuff, and we can watch something, or we can be somewhere and a guy with muscles walk by. Most of the people in the bars turn around looking at him, we're doing something, like that. And then with the feminine stuff, you can see these guys over here making fun of them, or saying this or doing that. But the masculine guys, they get that pass. Not all of them, but most of them will get that pass where, because they're masculine. And then they're perceived as being top just because they got muscles. Or they're masculine, they're going to be perceived as being tops. And that's not even the case either, but yeah, I would say that masculine men get more of a pass, and they're shamed less for, because a masculine man can come in there and he can be bigger, he can be overweight and stuff, but if he exudes this masculine energy, people over there, the guys are over there like, oh, he fine, he might not even be fine,
right?
Oh, he fine, or he's trade,
right?
And doing stuff, like that. Where the feminine person, they're still putting them over there. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I think masculine guys, and guys gym bodies and stuff, masculine guys with gym bodies, they tend to get a more pass. They're not picked on as much, or ridiculed as much as feminine guys, because feminine guys are picked on for what they wear, their nails, their eyelash, if they have all that stuff, or just, sometimes they have a walk, they might have a little bit more feminine walk or look to themselves or whatever. And then society picks on them as a whole already. And then we turn around and do the same thing to them too. But if you're masculine and you're in the thing, then you tend to not get as picked on as much, and you might be chosen a little bit more.
So basically,
you're like people picking you up for like the data.
So basically, you're drawing your conclusion on what you see visually, because you don't know nothing about this masculine guy. You know what I mean? But you're not gonna pick on him, but you're gonna pick on this person because of what you see visually or whatever. Maybe how they're dressed, or how their mannerisms or whatever. So yeah, I think, because that's the first thing we have to go by. That's why anybody gets picked on or criticized or whatever, is because of what people see. Okay, Jay and Joe, they said they had to drop out. Okay, cool.
Bye guys.
Yeah,
check out their channel, because they got good comments. Watching them today, I was watching they were in the Smoky Mountains, like where me and Larry just got back from not too long ago. They were up in the cabins like we were.
Okay. And they said they like Layden's comments. Okay.
Yeah.
We'll have to bring him back every so often.
Well, that's like almost, I'm surprised he came down today, because I've asked him before, but that's like pulling teeth. He has his own friends and all that other stuff. He ain't interested in, so it surprised me that he came in today.
He likes me. So. He's my friend.
Oh my God.
Don't hate.
I ain't hating. You just imagine it.
Whatever.
Late they thinking about you. Okay. Okay, so because he ain't thinking about me either. So we grown adults. He ain't worried about us like that. So anyway, yeah, masculine versus feminine, so and so. And then I'm gonna show this little. I'm gonna show this this little 30-second video, which I thought was cute. That kind of touched on the subject of where this guy was saying something to her, and then she said something to him about his lip, and she was kind of throwing off, because white people have thin lips and black people have fuller lips. But then he comes back about her being overweight, so it was like a little tit for tat right there, which, oh my God. So, but let me show.
I love gay people and black people and Asian people and Native American people and
Pacific
Middle
Islanders.
Eastern. Well, Pacific Islanders. I love Middle Eastern people. And this
Indian
is no
people.
particular order.
No, I rank. I love
Okay.
black people more than anybody else.
What's second? That's tougher to say, isn't it? That's tougher to say, isn't it?
You know what? Your mouth kind of reminds me of like a person from Whoville.
That's
because
fine.
you like lip is not there.
Well, I
But,
can't
like,
help that.
No, you can't. It's just like
Body
Whoville-esque.
shaming's fine until it's all about the weight, right? Goodness, here come the comments.
You see that? I mean, she went in on his lip, but see, that's body shaming because she went in on because he had smaller lips because of what they say about the stereotype about white people having small, thin lips, and then black people have fuller lips. But then she's sitting over there; she's a little bit plus size. She's not she's not in what they would call whatever regular shape, whatever that is. And then he went right back in on her, body shaped her. Did you see the look on her face? She was like,
Okay, you come for me, I'll come for you.
yeah, but so that's a little tit for tat right there.
Yeah.
We're almost done with the stream here in about probably 5 minutes. Yeah. So so anyway, but I thought that was cute. That was like our little oh no you didn't.
That was nice.
Yeah, that was like our little oh no you didn't say that.
Right.
She came right back and got him or whatever. But that was a little clip on body shaming right there also.
It really was.
And it was a little chuckle. I thought it was I kind of thought it was funny too.
Yeah.
So that was our little chuckle too. And it tied into our
Yeah. She reminds me of somebody I follow on TikTok. TikTok. She's always bringing up these controversial issues, and she brings people in to debate what she says or whatever. She kind of reminds me. I don't know if that was, but she kind of favors her, but I don't know if that was her. But yeah, that was cute.
So what do you think about this? Do we lose attraction to our partner if their body changes with weight gain, aging, or disease? So say you're with somebody, you're dating them for long term, and then just say or you're in a relationship with them, married or whatever, they start gaining weight, and that's not how you met them. They might have been in real good shape, or they got sick, and then their features changed, or as they got older, you can gain weight and your features change anyway. Your skin can get a little looser or whatever. Do you think would you lose attraction to your partner, and that would venture you to either end the relationship or step outside of it because they're not what when you met them? They don't look like that no more, and that's like a form of body shaming and stuff too.
I don't think for me, because I think if we're together and we've been together that long to where I've seen your body go through changes, I'm pretty sure my body has gone through changes as well. Especially if we're not, going through this process together, like we're not going to the gym together, we're not eating right together, whatever. I really can't say much about you because it's happening to me as well. So
what if it
I
happened
think
to you?
so even if it's not happening to me, I think I would have a conversation with my partner to say, you can have a more healthier lifestyle. I mean, if we can, control that, I'm pretty sure there's some things we can do. However, if that's not working, I don't think I would leave the person. I think because hopefully our foundation is there. And I think we have that foundation. I think we can make it or whatever. But I don't know. I haven't been in that situation where it's been like that long. But I mean, even my ex, I don't want to say no names, but I mean, even the little time that we were together maybe like 5 or 6 years, and I saw the changes in our body, but it didn't make me because I knew how the person made me feel. And that's what I was gonna say when you said that, Layton, about, you know, I remember Oprah saying a person is always, or somebody said it, she may repeat it, a person is always gonna remember how you made them feel.
Right.
You know, and because that goes along, because if you make me feel bad, I don't even want to be around you. I don't care how much you say, oh, I'm your friend, I'm this and I'm that, but you made me feel bad in that moment. And I don't know if I want to be, you know, whatever, you know. Now, if you apologize or whatever, you know, we can maybe overlook it, whatever. But if that's something you constantly making me feel, then I really don't want to be around you. So if that person changes, but still, but you know, as far as body, but doesn't change in the way they make me feel, I think we can last, we can go on, because that, to me, that's what really matters or whatever. And we'll just have those conversations. Like we get to the point where I'm like, nigga, my dick not even getting hard no more because of just the way you look. You know, we'll have those conversations. But I don't think I would just leave.
Because as we get older, we're all going to change.
Yeah, we're going to change.
So, you know, I would hate for somebody to leave me just because I got older and then, you know, my body changed or I got sick or something. And then, you know, everything was good and great, you know, as far as relationships can be, you know, because they got their issues. But but if I'm invested in stuff and then all of a sudden I got sick or my body changed because I got older and the person left me, yeah, that's a totally different issue. But right here, it says mental health. You know, as far as mental health, body shaming can trigger or worsen existing symptoms of anxiety, depression, eating disorders, etc. And you had brought up Ozempic earlier, right? So I have that in there. So Ozempic, you know, where people are taking these pills, Ozempic and stuff, so they can get smaller, you know, so they can lose weight and stuff, you know, like that. And it's still not making any of them happier,
right?
You know, because if you're not happy within yourself with all of this body type of stuff, even doing all that stuff doesn't make you happy, you know?
Right? Exactly.
And then, you know, but and a lot of them have lost their lives or got really sick from doing this Ozempic stuff.
Yeah.
Too. So, but there's a lot of disorders. You know, body shaming can trigger, you know, like I say, or worsen existing symptoms and stuff. You know, so
that's true.
Are y'all fed these questions? Are y'all prepared them?
Huh?
Are you fed these questions? Are y'all prepared?
No, we go off of our own experiences, our opinions.
No, the questions at the bottom.
No,
we put that in there.
We come up with questions of what we want to talk about and stuff. And we hear other people, you know, we watch other YouTubers and we watch, you know, stuff. I read stuff online, I read magazines, and just from my age of being in this life, in this world all these years, the experiences I've had, the friends, family, different situations of growing up and or around my friends, work type of stuff. So I bring in the questions and stuff, and if whatever's in my head, then I'll form them into a question. So me and Charles can talk about it. Charles does the same thing. Yeah. We go off of our opinions, and then other people are sending, you know, they're commenting and stuff too, and we'll pull their comments in, and then if we can answer them, or we can give our opinions on what they're saying, and they can give their opinions on what we're saying. So that's what our podcast is about. It's just, you know, we're talking, having a conversation with the world in Dallas and anywhere ever. And then people come in and talk. And we had guests before, and they come in and give their opinions. And some stuff we like, you know, there's stuff we know and some stuff we don't know. And then our audience enlightens us also with some of the stuff that they say, you know. And then we do our review. We go do some research and stuff, you know, like that. And our opinions don't always match what we read or whatever. But then we try to find the correct answer or statistics and stuff out there, and then we listen to other podcasts and what they're saying, and then you know, we kind of bring some stuff what they say also into our podcast. So
I just wanted to add a quote that I read. It was being overweight is hard, being fit is hard, being broke is hard, being rich is hard. Everything in life is going to be hard. You just have to choose your hard. Not everything's gonna be easy, you know. So I kind of feel like that really stuck with me. And another thing was, you want to eat your food like it's medicine, so you don't have to eat medicine like it's food.
That's good.
Yeah. Okay. So then, So what about, so posting pics of oneself over social media? Do you think those are people with high self-esteem, low self-esteem? I mean, we don't know because we don't know these people, but but hypothetically, do you think like most of the people who are posting these pictures and stuff on there and then airbrushing their stuff and then filtering it and stuff, do you think most of them have high self-esteem or low self-esteem?
I really just think it depends because, like, Nick, I'm just answering first because
don't be putting your friend's name out here. They gonna get mad at you.
Nick's not gonna get mad, but like Nick,
because he watches.
Nick, there was a point in time where Nick just posted a lot of pictures, but it wasn't that he was feeling self-conscious or something. Nick just genuinely liked what he wore. Nick genuinely liked the clothes that the colors he was able to put together, the color, the different types of patterns, and then like the scenery added on top of that, the whole aesthetic of the picture. So Nick really just liked being able to post, his pictures, being able to post things that he felt like he was confident about, right? Yeah. So you have people that do that, and then you have other people that maybe just post things just to chase the things that people have said to them online. You have people that'll post things just because you have somebody that'll comment and be like, "Oh my gosh, your body looks so good," or "Oh my gosh, you look so good in this and that." So it's like I kind of feel like it depends on the person.
Yeah, that's why I say both, because you can be sharing all your pictures because they're real good pictures or they make you look a certain way because you said you have high self-esteem, or you could be putting them out there because I think I look good in this picture and I want you to give me the likes and the loves to boost my self-esteem because I do have low self-esteem, and this is my way of getting validation because of all your likes, your loves, and your comments or whatever. So it could be both. You like you said, we don't really know, but there's so many reasons to why a person may be flooding your timeline with all these pictures or whatever. And I'm like, what I say to that is, baby, this is my page, so I can put whatever I want to put on. If you tired of me, you can unfollow me, you can block me, you can unfriend me, whatever. But as long as this is my page, I'm gonna put whatever I want to, just like you can put whatever you want to put on. But yeah, we can never really know where they're coming from, but it could be both to me, I think. Yeah.
And so we already touched on, all three of us talked about the natural body. What is the natural body? And then also, this is what Leighton, y'all touched on this earlier, about, but I have this question here though. Would you be comfortable going to a nudist colony or beach?
Oh yes, I would.
And taking off all your clothes and walking around naked?
Yes,
You'd be okay with that?
I do, because when I go to the spa.
That's inside. Does that make a difference?
But there's people inside.
Yeah.
So all the people. So that's awesome. So when we go,
more people on the beach, probably.
Right. So when we go on this trip, I'm gonna have to warm up to it. I'm probably gonna have to drink a little bit. But I'm not talking about nude. But it's even a thing for me to take my shirt off because I'm not comfortable sometimes with whatever. But I think I'm like, if I could do it at the spa, I could do it here because I don't know those people at the spa. I definitely don't know these people on the trip. And I'm gonna get so if y'all are watching, I'm not saying it in a negative way, but I'm just saying it to like make me feel better to doing it. I really don't know you guys. I want to get to know, and I'm going to get to know you. But, I think I have a problem with people that I do know seeing me because these are people I'm going to see every day. And they're the ones that they can make me, if I choose to, make me feel bad or whatever. If I take their words a certain way or whatever, because it won't be like, okay, I saw him this day and I'll never see him maybe until another year. Like these people, I probably won't see them again until whatever.
You see them probably like we're down in Keith's house.
Maybe.
Because he has events Dexter has events all the time, and a lot of them are there.
I wouldn't go to like one of those nudist things only just because I take pride in the secretive, so I wouldn't I wouldn't be the one that's out there not necessarily flaunting. I wouldn't be the one that's out there like showing what I have just because like I want to keep that to myself and to the person that I want to show that to, I just in the same way where it's like I wouldn't want my significant other for them, their body to be all in everybody else's minds or memories and stuff like that as well.
It's like the ones all over OnlyFans showing everything. I would want my, I would want my partner or spouse or something on you know, where they done the
I don't know.
OnlyFans or whatever. But I guess, you know, I guess what they did in the past, I wouldn't want them to be doing it now.
Right.
But if I met them and I got in a relationship with them, I wouldn't want them to be doing now. But what they did in the past, if it's already out there and I met them and I like them or whatever, then I would overlook that thing and stuff. But I still don't like it out there. I wouldn't put myself out on those porn video like that or OnlyFans.
That's probably like
what people see.
That's probably like where I would disagree with your father, because me personally, if I was to talk to a girl and I find out she has OnlyFans, I'm quitting. You know, I am dropping out. You know,
So if she has OnlyFans, you're not going to date her?
Even if it was like a past thing, even if she just started it, posted like 1 or 2 pictures, and they weren't even nude pictures, you were just in a bikini making certain poses. Even if that was what you were doing, just only because think about it. Like, let's say on Instagram, people do that all the time. You have a whole bunch of females who will just post their body and not even a face. You know, you'll only see their body, and it's like you know what you're posting it for. So people like your body. You know, you're not posting your body just to post your body.
Right.
No, nobody would walk outside with the bare minimum clothing on and be like, I just did this for me.
Okay.
You know?
You see a lot of that on Twitter.
I just feel like, especially when it gets to things like even having OnlyFans where you just post the swimsuit pictures, I wouldn't, only because why did you do it? You did it because you wanted somebody to pay to look at your body. And that principle in and of itself just bothers me. Why
pay, and also it could be a self-esteem issue too, because you know, if you have a low self-esteem, you'll go out and do stuff like that too, because it boosts your self-esteem when all these people keep giving you likes. That's just like Facebook and all these other things. You know, some people, they're on there because a lot of them have low self-esteems and they post a lot, you know, and then they're looking for those likes and those loves and stuff. And when they don't get it, some of them feel like something's wrong. Why didn't nobody like my picture?
Mm-hmm.
Why didn't this many people why didn't they like what I posted? And stuff? And some people are posting every day. They're just constantly posting,
reposting,
and they're not even getting money or anything off of it. But it's like they have a low self-esteem about themselves or insecurity, but in that gives them validation that people like me or people are doing this when people like their stuff or do it. And then when nobody like it, sometimes they can get into a funk or be upset or whatever because they didn't get enough likes or views or stuff, you know, like that.
I don't know if you've noticed, but like on Instagram, most people who have one of the oldest updates to Instagram, they actually removed the feature where you can see how many likes you have on the post. It'll just say liked by so and so and others.
Right.
And I feel like one of the reasons why they did that is since the internet's becoming so big, cyberbullying is also going to become so big. Yeah. And
cyberbullying is big.
I think that's why they did it, actually.
And you have people, and Instagram in itself is huge. It's bigger than, in my opinion, it's bigger than Facebook.
Oh yeah.
And Facebook was like the top thing before Instagram came out.
Yeah.
So now that you have Instagram, where especially it's a whole lot of young people, and
Facebook is for us old people.
Instagram is like a whole lot of young people, where that's all they'll talk about is like, how you gonna try to talk about me? You ain't even get 100 likes on your photo.
Yeah, exactly.
You only got 30 followers, and you go to a public school. What are you doing?
And don't let it be one of the pages where they what is called monetize.
Yeah.
They'll repost until they get enough likes to where they get paid and stuff like that. But I do want to go back to the nudist thing. So as far as the nudist thing, we gave our opinions. We're not shaming anybody if that's your thing or whatever. I want to say the people that do go to those nudist colony, whatever it is, nudist what?
It could be a nudist beach or a nudist colony.
Nudist colony or a beach or whatever. You're probably there with your community. So this is what you guys get into or whatever. So I don't think anybody is there to shame or anything, whatever. You're there because this is what you get into. Like we may get into, horse racing or whatever, that's our thing or whatever. This is your thing. So we have no problem with it, but I think we all just gave our opinions, but not to shame anybody.
Oh, I don't have any problem with nudist beach or whatever. Man, like I told you, I've been down to Hippie Hollow, down at Lake Travis, been down there for splash and stuff. And I fell off the rocks one time naked. And that was the first time I'd been down there years. Every year I'd been down there, but this time I decided to go naked, fully naked. And I'm over these rocks, and next thing you know, I done fell right between them. The paramedics had to come. Good thing I only hyperextended myself and didn't break anything. But the paramedics had to come take my ass out of there, and I had to go to the ER and everything. My friends had to drive me back to, drive my car. I had to lay in the back flat out because I was in so much pain and on meds and stuff. But that's the only time. But I would cut through as I was going to hippie. I mean, as I was going to
but you're still here.
Yeah, as I was going to the area where we were all going to be, we would cut through the area where the hippies used to be, but they're still there. And they were all nude, and I saw some things, whatever. But I didn't go in there and take my clothes off. But I have been to new beaches, and I didn't even take my clothes off.
Yeah,
I have been, and I'm sitting there being a voyeur, just watching people. But that was fun for me too. But but now I'm pretty self-conscious about except around the house. Hell, Layton saw me walk around here naked before. He'd be like, "Ooh, dang, put the clothes on," or just ignore me.
Right.
Because I'll go outside at the patio on my deck. I'll go out there and lay out there naked and walk around the yard, do all kinds of stuff. Ain't nobody see me.
Right.
So, but I do, for some reason, I still have that body image thing that I don't want other people to see me unless I'm having sex with you or something like that, with my partner or boyfriend. I don't want anybody else to. I don't take off my clothes in front of people. Just whatever. Some people think that I would. Because some people don't have a problem with that or whatever. But like I said, I'll be at the beach with my shirt on in the water and stuff. But, and I'm just not. I'm pretty self-conscious.
You definitely not taking that hat off, Chad.
Only
I seen pictures. I'm like, now why does he have this hat on?
People think I look cute with my hat on.
Right.
There's people who have seen me without my hat. Lots of people have seen me without it. And like Larry, I was telling him, you should, you're so good looking, even with your hat on or with your hat off. I don't know why but that's my comfort. That's my Linus. Or who was that? Was that Linus who carried the blanket on? Charlie Brown. That's my, I'm just, even when I had hair, I always still wore my hat.
Really?
Even because I'm used to being in surgery with the surgeon cap on. I'm used to being, I just always wore my hat. Now, there's my friends years ago, they would see me without my hat. But I'll get in the water and go swimming without it and stuff, because now I just keep it all shaved off and bald. But, it ain't, I don't not wear it because I'm worried about how I look without it, because you've seen me without it. But I'm just comfortable with it on.
I swear there's like a baby picture of, or like a picture of me when I was like 7 or 8. And we were in a pool, and he took the picture right behind me, and I swear he had his hat on still.
I did. I mean, I swim with it, but I do take it off in front of people. But most of the people who are going to see me with it off, it's like somebody who I'm having sex with, like my boyfriend dating somebody and we having sex or something. You're definitely going to see me with it off.
No, not wearing a hat. You have.
Well, I mean, no. Sometimes I do wear it because it's like you're in a little kink phase and you're role playing and stuff, like that. And then so I have had it on and stuff too. So it just I've role played before and then and little kinks and stuff, like that. But I don't have. It's not like I'm ashamed to walk around without my hat on. I just think I just like it because that's what I'm used to.
Have you ever seen that TikTok where the dude's like, "Where your clothes at?" That's exactly how I be feeling when he be roaming around the house like that. Because I'll just walk. I'll be coming down for breakfast.
Well, I don't expect you. Sometimes he be up in his room, and I think I can just come out and get away with it.
Right.
Because we're being anyway. He's seen me. He's seen me since he was this big in my hand. Whatever. So he's seen me all my life. So I'm not. It's not like I'm doing or whatever. But when your friends are here, you don't see me do that, do you? I've never done that when his friends is here, or if my friends are here, I'm not doing any stuff like that. It's just me and him because we done grew up together. I raised him, so we done grew up together. It's not anything, whatever. But I won't do that in front of any of my friends, and I won't do that in front of my relatives, and I won't do it in front of any of his friends. So when his friends is here and they were spending the night, because he's had friends spend the night here from almost the time he was like 5 years old all the way up. They'd be here for 2-3 weeks a month sometime. His friends love being over here.
Right.
So and then when they were here, I put on pajamas at nighttime. But if they're not here, I'm sleeping naked. And he's upstairs in his room doing his thing. So I don't see him. I'll come out naked and do whatever. you know, but then once he comes downstairs and I go in and put on some clothes or whatever, but I ain't worried about him. But I'm not gonna run around in front of his friends or anybody like that.
Right.
You know, that's inappropriate to me.
Hey, friend.
But with your kids, you know, the hell they used to. I mean, hell, I caught my mother before running out. You know, she didn't know she was running to the bathroom and she was naked before,
Right.
taking her bra, putting it up,
Right.
doing like this and stuff. And she
Right.
didn't even know that we, you know, I mean, and we had caught her before. But sometimes your parents just
It happens.
Yeah. So anyway, that's probably this is our last one, and then we'll get up out of here. So do gay men and straight girls, do gay men, straight girls, women, do you think they body shame people more so than straight men do?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
I do too. Because sometimes the gay men is just like the women and the young girls in school and stuff, bullying people and shaming people, the stuff that we say and do and stuff, you know, like that. Straight men, they do it a little bit, but I don't think they're into it that much like gay men and women and girls are.
Yeah, like out of my friends, out of my friend group, I'd probably say that I'm the one that cares the most when it comes to like physical appearances. Like all my other friends, like they could really care less if somebody was to be a little overweight or to have some fat on the body. You know what I'm saying? They really could care less. They'll still be with that person. I'm really just that person. I feel like only because growing up with somebody who worked in a hospital and constantly, maybe not constantly, but like more than not, you're seeing how you should live your life, how you should eat, how you should take care of your body. Then once you were to go out and really see how others treat themselves, that kind of lets you know how you don't want to be in life. But that was only because that was just how I was raised. Like when I used to see what my father would eat, making me stay at the counter to eat my peas, making sure I ate my broccoli. You know what I'm saying? Making sure I at least had some salmon and broccoli to give me some protein here and some nutrients there. I feel like just because I had to do those things and really seeing how that would affect my body, seeing the type of pluses I would have from that, that's kind of what had me in that state of mind. Because I would think to myself, well, if I'm seeing like how my father lives, and I want to think, well, how would I want to live? I would have to know how I don't want to live. I feel like everybody has to know how you don't want to live to know how you want to live, right?
Yeah, okay.
So when I go out and I see people that eat over there, that eat over than what the serving size should be, or you see people that don't necessarily want to keep the uptake on their body well, that just lets me know how I don't want to look. And that some people may say that's body shaming or whatever, but you can't be mad at me just because I don't want to look like you. You can't be mad at me just because I don't want to be similar to you in some way.
Right.
So I think that's really just that's my thing.
Yeah, I think gay and women probably do body shame more. Straight men do it because they do it out here in the bar.
With it too.
I heard in the barber shops. I heard it on social media. I follow a lot of straight dudes on Instagram and Twitter, and they definitely talk about people. But I think we probably do a little bit more because we like throwing shade and being petty, or I think it's. For women, it's all about looks, and for gay men, it's about looks. So I think we may do a little bit more, but we all do it. But yeah, I think we do it probably a little bit more than straight men. But straight men, y'all definitely do it.
I think we do it a lot more, and I think we're harsher with it because ours comes with the reading and what do they call it now? When they just go after you. What's it?
Like shade
and doing stuff, throwing shade and all this other type of stuff. I think we do it.
Yeah.
I think women
go ham.
Women and gay guys, go ham, and we go into it more than what straight men would get into it or whatever. And we can do it to where it can be vicious sometimes.
Yeah,
really harm somebody.
No doubt. I'll hear a female say that she'll dislike somebody because they're not 6 foot with dreads and dark skin before I hear.
Oh wow.
And that I make it so specific just because like nowadays for my generation, people my age, that's a lot of times women look for in a relationship. They'll be like, you gotta be 6 foot or over, you gotta be dark skinned, gotta have long hair. And that's really the only three things that you'll hear that people say like they have to have. Money is something you'll hear as well.
Yes.
But
especially I guess the older women probably. Yeah. Maybe not the young.
Well, no, definitely you have some. Like I seen with this woman the other day that had this. Her bio said if you ain't tricking, then we ain't meeting.
Oh my god.
So it's like you definitely have some now that's like they want a man to come through there with all the money, but they don't want to do nothing. Like, right. And that's why that's one of the things I just like about American women is just because they'll want you to come and beat a table and only have to pull up with a seat, and that's it. They don't. You putting the food on the table, got the house over the table. All they got to do is bring a chair and sit down, and they can leave whenever they want to, and then you can't say nothing about it.
Right.
So
okay. So Charles, you got any further leaving comments? Here, I'm gonna do this real quick before we leave. All right. So you got any closing comments?
So yeah, I'll try to make this as quick as I can because I know we've been going for a while. It's almost 9 o'clock. Okay, so some things that help you cope, and if some of this pops out at you, feel free to comment or whatever. But I'm gonna go through them first. So as far as body shaming, things you can do to cope with it is to practice self-compassion. Treat yourself with kindness, understanding, and patience. Remind yourself that everyone has imperfections and that your worth goes beyond your physical appearance. Challenge negative talk. Notice when you're criticizing your body and replace those thoughts with positive affirmations. Surround yourself with positivity. Seek supportive people who uplift and accept you as you are. Set boundaries. Don't engage with people with body shame or that body shame you or criticize you. You may want to limit your social media exposure if it makes you feel bad about your body. Focus on health, not appearance. Because sometimes medical doctors will make you feel bad about your appearance versus your health, because that's what society is looking at more.
When they tell you got to lose weight, you need to lose weight.
Yeah, and it's like, okay, no, is it health? Am I healthy though? So prioritize physical and mental well-being over trying to achieve a certain look. Seek professional help if your body shame affects your daily life. Consider therapy or counseling to address underlying issues. 7, embrace diversity. Celebrate different body types, sizes, and shapes. Recognize that beauty comes in many forms. Take care of your physical health. Engage in activities that make you feel good, like exercise or self-care routines. Educate others. If somebody's body shaming, calmly explain how their words affect you. Help them understand the impact of their behavior. And last but not least, I think, is to love yourself. You are more than your body. Focus on your strengths. Focus on your talents. Focus on the qualities that make you unique and valuable. And remember, you don't have to face body shaming alone. There are support groups out there. You may have to Google them in your area, that you can cultivate a loving, positive relationship with yourself and your body.
All right. All righty there. Well, thanks for joining us, world in Dallas, and we appreciate all of you. And like, share, and subscribe our channel. Subscribe to our channel. Comment, and we'll get back with you with any of your comments or suggestions.
Yeah.
And thanks for joining us. And my son joined us today. His name is Layton. He's 21. There he goes with his raggedy face.
Body shaming?
Yeah, body shaming.
Oh, okay.
With his hair that need to be combed out, but you know how parents do. So
okay, family be your worst critic, baby. But it's all in love.
But yeah, I love my son.
To be your worst critic or your best coach.
Yeah.
But anyway, my son joined us today for a little bit. He was in and out,
and they enjoyed you. We got comments already saying they enjoyed you. your point of
And
view.
thank all of you for supporting my father and his friend Charles.
Oh,
This is why we as a
Oh, look
group
at he's
here,
going to his dramatic.
okay, right.
this is why we as a group here enjoy on the Alvin and Charles podcast, where we discuss tit for tat and this and that.
Thanks. We don't even have,
Right.
Thanks for
Happy
joining us.
Pride.
Happy Pride month.
Bye, y'all.
All right, bye everybody.
Oh, what I wanted to talk about.
So
So
wait a minute, we haven't